Alright, ladies and gents, this just happened. Just now here, playing a 1v1 on Mega Random. You'll notice 0 on wood, 0 on gold, 0 on stone. We both start with a Victoria. We don't need wood. Super strong. And he's like, wait a second. I was getting ahead of the game. Next level strat, I'm buying stone. I'm like, he's gonna have to mine it. Or if he tries to buy it, it's gonna be more expensive. Here I am, little T90, little naive T90. Just so happy. Just feeling so good. Oh, I passed Slate faster. Just feeling so good. Oh, So here he is, and he sees my Victoria, and he's like, wait a second. My Victoria is nice and snug in the back of my base. He's like, wait a second. His Victoria is in Narnia. Wait a second. His Victoria is in Narnia. So maybe we're gonna do something about that. Guys, he's going for redemption and monks. Okay? Guys, he's going for redemption and monks. Okay? And there he is, converting my Victoria. And there he is, converting my Victoria. My Victoria. Oh my god. Purple says, let's ride. My elves will defeat Jack. Let's go. He's got Harkins, guys. We have archers. Oh, baby. This could be sick. You guys know I'm infatuated with the Huns. Baby, this could be sick. Now, they don't have a noise anymore. There used to be a really iconic thump. And I'm upset that there's still no thump. Why are they silent? Why are they silent? Why are they silent? Thump. Silent. Why are they silent? Oh god, and the Tarkins are through. Listen to how silent they are. Look at the pathing too, this is great. There's no noise, but there's pikemen. But it's sudden death, you gotta go for that TC. There goes Red Man. Tarkins are such a beautiful unit. We do have lots of fortification. There is like a little maze though the Tarkins could run through. Oh no. You're gonna regret not full walling this. The silent but deadly Tarkins. They can make their way, they can do it. They can take out the TC. Oh! Why are they silent? Silent.
Hello everyone, welcome to a stream of some low elo legends from the T90 Community Cup. With me we have the real Salim Shady, aka Elsim Gaming, aka ZeldaSquad. Hello Zelda.
Hello. Hello. Sorry, I had to cough at the exact moment you introduced me.
Yeah. I'm sure that Arbase will also complain because you used his signature greeting. So
Yeah, well, I mean, Arbase complains when I lame myself, so.
So, we have two sets in store today. The first one will be from the Spearmen bracket. I wanted to cast this set because one of the players felt like they didn't belong in the bracket. And I hope we can maybe see how the games went and maybe potentially show, hey, it wasn't that one-sided as you might think, and hopefully give some insights on how to maybe or what to work on to get better.
Yeah, I feel you there. As somebody who jokes on myself about wanting to improve all the time,
Oh yeah.
it's something to be aware of.
I'm sorry. You got the two worst casters that you could get. We are very critical, both of us, but we mean it in a very good way. We like to improve in the game, and we are very critical of ourselves as well. So yeah, it's all meant as a way to point out things that could help get better. And Arbase is playing and lurking at the same time. Hello, Arbase.
Arbase is gonna be vicious today.
Yeah. So I would start with the drafts now. So let me change the drafts. Here.
I do like the map so far.
Wait, this is another one. Or are you? Oh, you're watching on your screen, I guess.
Yeah, I have my own.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Here. Perfect. Yeah. So first game is gonna be on Golden Lakes.
It's a choice.
Yeah, it's relatively popular, I believe.
Yeah, I like it a lot because it plays a lot like Gold Rush.
It does. Playing it, I have the feeling, yeah, you end up playing it more like Gold Rush than Four Lakes or Cross.
Yeah. I think it's a weirdly complicated map though, because you want to do both.
You
Like,
want to do both, but the fish is more of a initial thing, and then yeah, it becomes more a golden pit kind of game. Yeah. Compete for the center, and well, you place castles in the wrong position and you lose.
I tend to like it though for good scout civs though. You can get some really good scout civs on it. Honestly, archers are underrated on it as well.
Well, maybe the advantage of scouts is since there's the big hole in the middle, you can walk around more easily and reach the various corners of the map.
Yeah.
So civ picks for this map. What do you think?
This is a weird one. So like my first instinct is it's probably Berbers versus Khmer. Both of those feel good here.
Yeah, could be Malay.
I would say it's more likely it's Malians though for Richard and Malay for Slicketyy.
Yeah,
because they feel like really solid hybrid civs. They can do everything they need to do here.
Yeah,
and it runs a lot smoother. Like Khmer feels fine, but it'd probably end up being a little too rough.
But where would you see Italians?
That's a rough one. I'd almost want Italians for reed bass, because it's one of those food heavy maps. And if you expect Magyar as a Chimera, it's the counter pick there. But even then, like Lagangati's a pretty open map, so
Yeah.
I think it's the safety pick of if I end up on my home map, it's a civ I'm good with. If I end up on my opponent's home map, I counter the 2 civs that are most likely to be used there.
Yeah, I mean, all 3 maps have a hybrid aspect to them. Probably Langanari is the least hybrid of the 3, because once the fish runs out, you tend not to see fish traps or much in the pond.
In my experience too, it tends to be more just for shorefish. I think in every single game I've played, I don't think I've docked it once.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it. It's not enough deep fish for me to dock that.
Whereas African reed bed, since it's in the back, you tend to see some fish booming going on there, depending on the players. But
agreed.
Yeah. So Golden Lakes, African reed beds, and Langanari. Yeah, let's go into game number 1.
Yeah. I forgot to load my age.
Might
So
be important.
Yeah. Well, I also forgot to load capture edge too. At least beforehand, like before I hopped in the call.
All right, I'm entering the game.
Yeah, I am too.
And I'll pause at second 5.
Sounds good.
Let me switch the scene so that people can see. Okay, are you ready?
Set it second 5.
Yeah, set second 5, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm good to go. I just have to swap my scene over.
Okay. You want to come down?
What's up?
You want to count down to start?
Oh, yeah. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so we are in game 1, Richard's Quest versus Slicketyy. Again, this is the Spearmen bracket of the T90 Community Cup. These players are around, I think, 800 elo.
I gotta change something real quick.
And we have Richard's Quest with the Malians. The map is Golden Lakes, so it's a mix between 4 Lakes or Cross and Golden Pit. On the right side in blue we have Slicketyy with the Malay.
I had to change something. Where are you at?
I'm at
130.
I'm at 120, 139 now.
Okay. Okay, we're good. We're a little off, but we're synced.
Yeah. And so what do you think of this matchup between these 2 sips?
This is a rough one for me. So I favor Malay here, just for uptime, and I think uptime here matters. I think it also matters how fast we get to fish. Like that matters to me here more than the uptime. But if we get to fish fast and we can get an uptime, we should be up 2 bills. Or if we're not, we need to take map control. And that's really what it comes down to. And I favor them here simply on uptime and map control. And map control matters a lot more here than just having 2 extra bills.
Yeah.
So I'd really like to see a faster uptime and then just make up the difference in feudal while you get map control.
So the first thing I will note here is that Slicketyy with the Malay has only 3 on wood. And that's a standard build, it's not a hybrid build. So I actually expect to see a mill and not a dock.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at that too. I'm a little sad we missed the 4 sheep in the back too. So I really hope he finds those.
They should, yeah. Where is the scout? Scout is here.
Yeah, bottom. He should notice that though. I doubt he misses that. When the mill goes up, he should see it. But he did put a mill down, so we're gonna avoid water here. Don't necessarily hate the idea, but you're Malay. I'd rather see the water play here more. And Richards is gonna go to water instead of a mill.
Yeah, so we do see the mill from the Malay, yeah, and the dock for the Malians. And that's already a tiny advantage that the Malian player will have. The fish is faster food income, but not only faster, it's also about the fact that you can create fishing ships while you're going up an age, and that will probably offset the advantage that the Malay do have.
Yeah, and I just like it more here going mill, because you're already going to be up 66% faster, so you should be up a vil faster. If you're on water right away, too, you can be up with 3 fishing ships, and that makes up the difference of 2 vils. So your feudal is even smoother, and then you just get a 2 vil lead.
Yep.
It just works out so much better. So avoiding the fish does bother me.
But it is a common difficulty in not knowing how to adapt the build for a hybrid map. It is one of the things I had to learn for the Hidden Community Cup, so the previous tournament. Yeah, learning a hybrid build made all the difference in the world, honestly.
It's complicated too, because it expects a lot of you, and if you're used to playing Arabia or Arena, you're very locked into how you play, so having to adapt it is very hard.
Yeah.
This game's already complicated enough too, so.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that we're on fish. I just hate that we did it with the 4 HP vil.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that
I really just
that villager should be under the TC on a farm later on, not out there for a scout to pick. But at this elo, I don't expect either the scout to come here and do that.
Yeah, I think if we're scouting that, we're likely not going to pay attention to the HP.
Yeah, the scout from Richard's Quest is idle. Idle TC, Richard's Quest is actually at 31 seconds, so it's already 1 villager behind versus the 15 seconds for Slicketyy. So Slicketyy is actually doing a better job with the Idle TC.
Yeah, and he's going to click up later here, which I think is fine. Again, he's going to get there faster. So we're already taking advantage of a 3 vil lead.
Yeah, it's clicking now. Yeah. Queued behind the
Our Malay uptime.
Villager,
so
yeah.
I like that we're walling too. We're not egg walling.
Yeah.
I appreciate no egg walls.
But there is a hole in the back on this wood line. I don't know if it has been scouted. Let's see. It has not.
He might think that goes all the way to the edge.
Yeah, exactly. It's yeah. It's something you learn with it. Yeah, you learn with experience.
Oh, the scout goes down.
Oh, right under the TC. Oh,
that's good attention though from Slicketyy to just see that and immediately pop that.
Absolutely. And I like that there's a barracks. It's a bit late, sorry. But on the other hand, I don't see a barracks from Richard's Quest. Am I wrong? No, I don't see one.
No, you're not. There's nothing.
Yeah.
So if we see any pressure come in, we're reacting to that, and I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
I think it's always worth... Yeah, now we see the barracks go up. I think it's always worth putting a barracks up on a map where you expect aggression.
Yeah.
Because at the very least, if it's scouts, you get 2 spears out. And if you see MAA come, you absolutely can transition into archers.
Yeah. I mean, that's unless you're doing a fast castle build, but if you're doing a fast castle build, you go up later and you build a market and a blacksmith right away.
And preferably too, like if you're going SC here, he'd be fully walled already. Like he would be in the position to hold that. And there's gonna be scouts from Slicketyy. I like that.
Yeah.
I fear for this hole in the back of his wall so much.
Yeah, that hole.
It's giving me anxiety to look at.
Might cost a lot. I also don't like the top side walling, like that. Those 2 houses, like you're never gonna wall to what?
Yeah, it's awkward.
Yeah. I mean, you could wall the other 2 wood lines in the back, but you could have gone directly to that one, I guess.
There's just too much to wall there. I think it'd just be easier to wall to the TC.
Yeah.
But again, it's the little things too. At this elo, you think about getting full walled, and that's fine. It's something I never learned at this elo. It's just walling. Yeah. I'd rather see you fully walled than not and get picked off.
I mean, another thing that I appreciate about the walling from Slicketyy is actually the fact that he's kind of walling the front first, whereas Richard's Quest is doing the opposite. He's walling the sides first, and I would say it's better to wall the front because that's where the aggression is gonna come first. It's where you want to have more vision. That's the more important part.
Yeah, it's an optimization thing. I don't necessarily hate it. I do just like that we built a stable though as Slicketyy, and we have not at all made a single scout.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't like that. It just feels like a waste of wood. And like we have the res now to go up, but we don't have a blacksmith.
Yeah.
So
and
now
we don't have the wood for the blacksmith because we are placing farms, which is per se is not bad, but you kind of have to prioritize things. Like right now, I would not place those farms. I would first get the building, and then you place the farms after you go up.
Yeah, and it's that catch-22 though. If we uber invested on berries too, there were 8 vills on berries, so we forced fast farms out of ourselves.
Yeah, I like the resource walls from Richard's Quest on the wood line. But they don't go with the side walls. Like it's one or the other.
It just feels unnecessary. I think this is an auto scout. We could trap this in there? No, we're gonna fight. That's fine. I hate this market from Richard so much.
Where's the market? Oh, here. Oh, yeah. You should just, should just make it part of the wall outside of the range of the TC. You don't need it there to take the space for the farms.
Yeah, I agree. And both are sitting on res for castle. Slicketyy has it in a queue.
Yeah.
Right behind 2 bills. And Richard should just sell. Yeah, we're laming ourselves so much here as Richard. We just need to put these like 5 or 6 tiles more. Like, out.
Okay, we see a stable now from Richard's Quest. Slicketyy should be transitioning to whatever they want to do in Castle Age.
I agree.
I don't think they're gonna go with the stable units. Maybe they shouldn't as Malay. However, whatever it is, I would like to see 1 or 2 production buildings for that.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna go 2 stable. Either we shouldn't go camels as Malians here. Like it's Malay. There's no reason to go camels here.
Yeah, Richard Quest. Yeah, should not go.
I actually think they get a bonus against elephants, so it's possible.
They do, but elephants. Spearmen. Yeah, spearmen or monks.
Spearmen would just be better, and then you can use something better to raid. But we're up now. Like we're up so much faster. We have stocked res. We built a stable in feudal. I want to know what the long-term plan here is.
Yeah.
I really dislike the idea that we placed this stable and we've done nothing with it.
Yeah.
We're now up faster. Like, I know it's really unnecessary of an investment, but 2 knights. Like, your knights aren't going to last past early castle. So but there's so much damage that can be done with 2 knights under a few res.
Yeah, we placed 2 TCs, and we still are floating wood. We're floating food, and we're floating gold. So,
we're getting armor for knights.
Getting armor. Oh yeah, that's the only armor that we get as Malay. I don't like.
We're getting all these upgrades, but we have no units. We have 2 infantry armor. We have our only.
No, the infantry armor is automatic for the Malay.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I always forget about it, to be honest.
Also, right now you should be getting Boso. Especially since you're going with the booming approach with 2 TCs. I don't like the fact that both of them are on stone.
I don't hate it, especially on this map. I hate it more because neither of us have tried to take map control. A castle is very good to get the gold, but it only works when you have solid army on the field.
And we see 2 additional stables in the corner for Slicketyy.
We're going knights now as Richard, where we have bloodlines coming in, and we have 5 knights in queue.
Fourth TC. Yeah, 5 knights in queue, yeah. And the fourth TC for Slicketyy. Wow, that is greedy. And it is far away. It's on stone again. Why?
Yeah, I don't like that.
You need gold more than stone.
Agreed. If you're gonna put a TC, put it in the dead center. Like right between those 3 gold piles. Just do that.
I mean, there's these gold piles that are at the top of the pit. That would be good for a TC, so it's not at the bottom of the pit, where you also have the elevation disadvantage.
That's true.
A
I
fifth
also hit that we're floating
TC.
1700.
Wow, that's
We are mega booming. This is a commitment, right?
Yeah.
That
I mean,
is a
at
pacing
least we are
issue
using
now.
the wood.
Yeah, like we're using it, but this now is becoming a pacing problem.
Yeah.
So something that like we only have 21 on food.
Yeah.
Our fish is about to run out, and that's a third of our food eco.
Yeah.
So in about 5 minutes, this is going to be gone, and we're not going to be sustainable.
Yeah. We're not gonna be able
And
to
our
produce
opponent has
villagers.
knights. Yeah.
Yeah.
And our opponents has knights. Like,
Yeah.
this falls into the point of we've way overcommitted. Like,
Absolutely.
the third TC is fine, but now you have to pace yourself. Like, if you're Slicketyy, you have to go, cool, what does my eco look like? How is it balanced? If we had 21 farmers and 8 fishing ships, this is a different story, I don't hate it. But then it's greedy and it becomes, what happens if I get pressured?
Yeah.
Like, what do I do then?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have an answer right now. Like those knights are parked outside your 2 TCs, but they could go in, and well, they are doing now. They are advancing, and we don't have anything.
Like, they have bloodlines. If they have 1 armor, these TCs are not stopping them.
Yeah.
Like, you're not doing anything there. And now we're reacting with a second barracks and getting pikemen. I don't like the reactive play.
With 2 barracks. That's.
And we're committing so much to walls.
So, yeah, the problem is we have 31 on wood and we have 1 on gold and 7 on stone.
Yeah.
Like, the eco balance is not there. I do appreciate the idle TC, which is now climbing because, yeah, we are being attacked and we're in full panic mode.
Yeah, we have 5 TCs that we can't sustain.
Yeah, I mean,
And we have
look
to
at
make,
this
like-
wall. Wow.
We have 5 barracks now? So this is
Yeah.
what I mean by pacing. So now we've reacted to Malian Knights. We have 5 TCs. Our food eco is about to go away. Because it's all fishing.
Yeah.
And we're making pikemen out of 5 barracks. In reaction to 4 knights. Our opponent behind this is on 3 TCs. Shore is behind, but they've committed less to water, so they have more farm eco. And they're completely safe.
Yeah.
Like, even if they lose these knights, they've forced you to make 16 pikemen.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane to me.
And the fact that we built all this stuff under stress and we still have 1,000 food floating, that tells us everything we need to know. Like,
I think,
yeah,
too, if you're Richard, you see all this pikemen and you go, cool, I can just make the easiest skirm switch of my life, which we do see coming. Like, I don't
well,
know. It's
yeah,
a bit
I
of
mean,
a rough position to be in because we committed so hard to a boom.
yeah. I mean, yeah, the thing is the Malay do get the free armor upgrade, so those pikes are actually strong, and it's not like you can really fight them with the knights, especially in the numbers that are on the field right now.
Yeah. But we can even go skirm, we can go
Yeah.
houses, Richard, which is pain. Honestly,
Or
I've been
Gibetto.
preaching it a lot. Yeah, or Gibetto. And we have a castle coming up. I like this castle a lot. It protects
I
the
do.
TC, gets us
I
a
do.
gold secure. It's huge.
Yeah.
We do this castle, we can go Gibetto, all these pikemen die, or we can go on...
But where are the villagers?
Or we can go scorpions.
Where are the villagers?
Oh, they're...
Oh,
I think
okay.
he shift queued them off that stone.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, or took some from the back, whatever.
Yeah.
But now, okay, now they are there. I'm building that castle,
But
and
now
the
we have all
knights
this
are
state
pressuring.
mass. Yeah, this is huge.
Knights are pressuring,
I
and
think-
2 more barracks come up.
It's such reaction. Now, I think we do not fight this. Like, even me who forgets it, like, that's so many pikemen, you just don't fight that.
No.
Elite Skirm is fine. I'd rather just see scorpions or mangoes here, though.
Does Richard's Quest see the other TC? Does not. So that TC is still secret.
I don't like this castle.
No, this castle is terrible. Should be in the front if anything, but...
That should be 2 bill kills on that north TC. Or we're just passing.
Just passing. Or... Yeah, just passing.
We still also don't have a food eco. We just ran out of dolphins. So now what do we do? We don't have a food eco to sustain 5 TCs and pikemen.
Yeah.
We need 20 farms right now. The eco balance for Richard's Quest is there though.
Yeah, the eco balance for Richard's Quest
buy
is...
another castle.
It's good.
And then...
Floating a little bit of resources, but it's not too bad. Yeah.
I think we need to throw down 2 or 3 more archery ranges, or we need a siege workshop. Siege right now would be the difference maker. The north TC could die to just the slightest siege push.
So we see 5 elephants.
And we're
I'm ready to bet that these elephants will not move.
I really like Richard's position right now.
Yeah. He has map control. He has only 2 eco KDs. Not like the knights did any
yeah, they didn't do
damage
damage.
yeah. But they forced the reaction. Like they already put Slicketyy in a state of mind of like, oh shit, what do I do?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, and we're forced into pikemen, which is fine. Like, we already want to be on pikes as melee, or infantry at the least.
Yeah.
But because we've reacted, our opponent now has the advantage to go Gabetto, go Elite Skirm, which we did see him tech into. And we can still be on knights.
Yeah.
And then what do we do from here, right?
If I had to guess, I think that Slicketyy isn't too sure what to do with the melee as units. Because, because they have weak knights. And, yeah, sure, they have cheap elephants, but... yeah.
You gotta take advantage of the early.
Yeah. Either you do an early attack with a lot of elephants, the 20 elephants in 20 minute thing, or whatever. That could be okay. But in general, melee are better with the infantry, actually. The Karambit Warrior is actually quite good, but yeah, you have to know how to play it. Because it's also not...
like the Pike champ here, to be honest.
Yeah.
That would be the play here at this point.
Melee also have the unique tech that will remove the gold cost of the militia line.
Wait, they don't get champ, do they? I think they get longsword.
Let me check. I think
they
don't.
only get two-handed.
They get two-handed, right? Yeah. Yeah.
I'd still like it here though. Like just a few elephants too, mixed in with halb and two-handed, we're hugely ahead.
The thing is, Richard's Quest has mobility, and we don't have it like at all. Elephants are slow. Halberdiers are also slow. So Richard's Quest can decide when and where to engage in a fight.
I agree. And that's where we need to, like, as the melee, we have to force a fight. We have to put pressure where our opponent has to react.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing now. I like it. Like, we're putting pressure on this TC.
Yeah. You could...
We need a trip.
A way to get Richard's Quest to actually attack or have to do something is to go forward with the castle. You place a castle next to the one that is up there, and then they have to react, and yeah, your halberdier could be actually winning against the knights.
Yeah, I agree. And like we're still in a good position. We've killed a few vills here now. We've reduced the knight mass from our opponent. Our opponent's now on pike and skirm as Malians. We don't get bracer as Malians. We don't get heat blasting. So like in a trash war, we're already losing.
Yeah,
And like the only thing we really need is a forward castle or a trip. I hate this other castle in the position we're in right now.
No, should be.
This castle I like normally if it's back a few tiles. But with the position we're in, it needs to be farther to the left so we can apply pressure with trips.
If that were the first castle, right when Richard's Quest was building his own, that would have been fine.
Yeah, like I love that if it's the first one.
Now, no. Now you should be more aggressive, I think, because you want to force an engagement.
Oh, when we're fighting with our elephants into pike right before.
Yeah, I mean, the halberdier would be better. They would trade better against the pikemen.
Yeah. But we do have a lead now.
We have a lead. But the problem is that the melee don't get the armor. We only have +1 armor. That's all we're gonna get.
We desperately need a trap. We have 2 castles, we have conscription, we need a trap.
Yeah.
And if we're Richard, we need to be on Gabetto.
Yeah, I agree.
We need to be on Gabetto and Hal before we need to be on Skirm.
I mean,
I don't hate the Skirm pick, like it's a good reaction.
It's going on,
like
on pikemen though, heavy on pikemen. Do we get halberdier? No, we don't get halberdier as Malians.
I still like it though for the elephants. Gabetto just need a meat shield, they die too quickly. So if we can get halbs in front, then I think we're fine.
Yeah.
Gabetto will help show elephants because it's an HP thing. Elephants are all HP.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Gabetto would be good against the halberdier. Because pikemen versus halberdier, I mean, the halberdier, of course, they have the advantage. But if you have Gabettos behind, then the pikemen can be the meal shield, and the Gabetto will kill all the halberdiers. And then you actually win that fight.
I like this third castle from Slicketyy. Not only are we protecting 2 wood lines and some farm eco, we can actually produce trebs in a reasonable distance here.
Yeah. Could be more forward, but it's fine. Yeah. I agree.
It does a 2-handed play. We're on rams now, and we just make a treb. I'm begging you, make a treb.
Yeah. 4 actually.
34 pikemen though? Now we're making karambits. I don't hate karambits here.
No, karambits
so
are actually good. Yeah.
They're so pop efficient for what we're seeing too.
Like
I like that we're massing scorpions now though as the Malians. I cannot stress how underrated that is here. Not only was our opponent on karambits, they have halbs at their capacity already, and we know that.
Yeah.
So that's a good advantage. They just need to be masked.
I will note, however, that Slicketyy stopped producing villagers way too early. You're on 76. Richard's quest is on 103. It's also a bit early, but it's a reasonable amount.
Yeah. 140 is about the point you want to stop. So them both stopping production here, not a fan. We do have Tigui coming in from Malians. I like that. It's a good point to get it. We're getting elite karambit. Oh man.
We have a follow from Bishop. Hey Bishop. So we have 4 traps for the Malian player and 1 on the field for the Malay.
Look how fast the scorpions melt.
Yeah.
Karambits shred.
Karambits are a great unit. However, I mean, it's fine against the pikemen. In general, I like them better as a raiding unit. Like, you move them around, you send them in the eco, because you don't care about losing them because they are cheap and they produce fast. But they are extremely annoying.
I treat them like scouts in the late game. Right-click a rally point at your enemy's eco and just throw it.
Yeah.
That's how it needs to be.
And while your enemy is chasing them around, you do your own thing. You do what you need. Where is that trap going? Where is that trap going? Why? It's not a ram. Okay, good. The ram actually worked.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I just like that it got away with it when we had knights and pike on the field, and now we're on 33 crossbows in queue.
Yeah, a bit of an overreaction maybe. This tech switch is yeah.
Richard had a good position early, forced his opponent to react, and then had the immediate 2 follow-up options, which would have been Arbalister or Gabetto. I don't like Arbalister because we don't get Bracer. Gabetto would have been better.
Yeah, definitely.
But like, now that we're reacting again to Elephant Ram, we're on Arbalister and Pikes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird choice.
Kind of done it to ourselves. I do like the fact though that we got to the endgame point with Malay. We're on Elephant, we're on Karambit.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. We have Pikes from left Uber Knights. Or Halb, sorry. But I don't hate this late game deathball. This is a crazy good deathball.
I mean, it is working.
Apparently he also lost that TC to the north, and I didn't even notice it.
That's true. Richard's Quest called the GG?
I don't hate this GG timing. I will say I'm very disappointed with Richard's position, because we had 4 knights force 20 pikes out of our opponent.
Yeah.
And we had the capacity to react to that. We had a castle go up. We could have been on Gabetto, raided our opponent, killed pikes very quickly, and snowballed from there.
Yeah.
And Slicketyy, I don't like 5 TCs, right?
No,
like
not in Castle Age.
Yeah, and like we didn't even use it to boom quicker. We stopped at 90 vills the moment we got attacked. Or rather 76. The moment we got attacked, we stopped producing. And then we went full death ball in response.
Yeah.
If we're gonna 5 TC boom, not only did we need to have map control from feudal, we needed to not be dependent entirely on fish for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we needed to actually be able to use it for something and get to 140 vills before our opponent.
Yeah. And being on just 1/2 lakes, like on this map, like you'd want to get 3. The second lake, I think, it was a bit late, right?
Yeah, he added it right about the same time the 4th TC went up.
Yeah. But well done. I mean, it's
I agree. I
game
think
one.
It's a good GG here.
Yeah. I mean, at this point you don't stop this, and the switch to Arbalester did not make a lot of sense.
I think if the Arbalester switch is done this like in Castle, we saw 8 barracks go down. I don't hate it as much.
Yeah.
Like I do dislike going Arbalesters as Valiants with no bracer.
Absolutely.
Gabetto is just your better ranged unit.
Absolutely.
But it's also easier to mash your Expo and Castle.
Yeah.
So just being able to mass that faster, I would have preferred it. And then if you absolutely need to, you can transition into Gabetto. And if you need to, you can use them as raiding units. It's the same as Karambit. Both of our unique units here in this situation could be extremely good raiding units.
So let's take a quick look at the stats. KD ratio is very positive for Slicketyy. And look at that military population exploding in the Imperial Age. I mean, we got lucky here that Richard's Quest stopped applying pressure, right?
I agree.
And so our boom then paid off, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't even call it an extreme boom. We got to a pretty average.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But it allowed our eco to continue to function. If the pressure would have continued, knights everywhere, idling all the villagers inside the TCs and so on, then it would have been way tougher.
I think the harder thing here too, like something that I'm very aware of, they're about 800. So something at this eco or that elo that's really hard to do is control your military.
Yeah.
So like even if you're just gonna put them under a TC and they die, try not to do that. If you see a TC, just pull them away if you think they're gonna die.
Yeah.
But like get your raids where you need them, or just get pressure on. Like even just hitting buildings, it's so simple. But to force your opponent to react to where their walls are means those vills are idle and they're reacting to you.
Yeah.
And when your opponent reacts to you, you take advantage of that. You start making the units you need, and you counter that. Because in a game like Age, if you're reacting to what your opponent does, by the point that they've already done it, you're usually behind.
Yeah.
And that's just like, it's that prime moment of we made the ARB switch at 44 minutes instead of 23 minutes to help. And like that's a bit of a pain for us as Richard.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to point out that Slicketyy gathered 5,000 more resources, and despite having less villagers, so we had.
I think that's fish traps too, to be honest, though.
We had a maximum of 82 versus 106. Could be, but a thing that I'm noticing is that Slicketyy researched wheelbarrow and handcart, and Richard's Quest did neither.
Yeah,
that makes a big difference.
It does, yeah.
I do like the timings for Castle Age and Imperial, they were good. 1843, 2031, and 33, 21, and 35. Those are good timings.
I agree. If I can remember how to bring up the overlay. I never remember how to bring it up in Capture Age.
And yeah.
But I don't think the times are bad.
We'll go into game 2.
If I look at this draft again real quick.
Yep. Let's let me pause the game and switch to the draft again.
Sorry.
So what did you want to see?
My brain just completely shut off apparently. The game 2 is Reed Bass here.
I have some
Yeah.
bot to ban. Perfect.
Yoink it into the abyss.
Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna go to African reed beds. We might have spoiled the civilizations already, but I forgot them. So we saw Malians lose and Malay win. African reed beds.
I think Reed Bass is going to be similar to Golden Lakes here, where you really want to get map control.
Yeah.
So now this is where I said earlier too about Italians. If you end up in your home map, I think it's really good to counter the 2 civs that would be best used on Reed Bass, so you can guarantee yourself a win if you're Richard. And if you ended up on your opponent's home map, it's the same thing. I think the only choice here for Slicketyy has to be Magyars or Khmer. Vikings just, it feels like the safety pick of like, it's a civ I know well kind of thing.
Maybe, yeah. But I feel Vikings are very limited in their military options. Like, they're not very flexible.
If we were going to see them, I think Golden Lakes would have been the place to see them.
Yeah. And
so this one has to be an Italians game.
Yeah, I think so. I wouldn't mind Berbers, because if you expect Magyars, or to a point also Khmer, the camels could come in handy.
Yeah. Camel Archer against Magyars would be crazy good.
Yeah.
But again, too, like in that situation, I'd rather just have Italians. Genoese crossbow is way tankier. And it would handle everything that Magyars and Khmer do, minus, well, even elephants, realistically.
But also, if you look at the other map, which is Langanari, I expect Magyars to be picked on that map.
That's fair.
So maybe Berbers are
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, Berbers would also work on Langanari. Like I think it just comes down to preference. Like both are very good on either map there. Koreans feels like it's never gonna see use here.
No, I don't see Koreans. Yeah.
With how the civs match up, I don't think it's viable.
So ready to switch to the game?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's switch to the game.
I'll stop at 5 seconds, too.
Okay, I'll get to 5 as well. Okay, I'm at 5.
Yeah, I am as well.
Yeah, countdown.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Game 2 of Richard's Quest versus Slicketyy. We are in the... this is the Spearmen bracket of the T90 Community Cup. About 800 elo. And game 1 was a victory for Slicketyy, who is now playing Magyars. And we see on the other side Richard's Quest, who picked Italians, as we kind of expected. You want to talk to us about this map a little bit, how it functions?
So for me personally, I'm split. I had this conversation with somebody. I think this map can be played very boomy and played like very walled, or it can be played for pressure. If you're playing walled, you're getting fish, and you're not taking center, and you're getting a fast castle to take control there. If you're going feudal aggression, well, you have map control very early, and you should have every advantage you need if you go feudal aggression.
Yeah.
I kind of mentioned I think fast castles here are super risky. Other than that, the center is super important. It's where half your stone is.
Yeah.
It's also an incredible food boost, and all our gold is on the side. Plus, we have markets.
Yeah, and we have markets. Yeah. But about the markets, remind me to share the stats at the end of the game. We don't see trade cards very often on this map.
That's true.
But yeah, the gold, I find the side goals to be extremely important. Like you have to go out at the right time and place a castle on that hill. Otherwise, you risk that your opponent does it for you, and then you run out of gold. And your opponent has all the gold in the world and can do double gold composition on this map very easily, and you run out of gold.
We saw that matchup here. At least I did. I casted a game. I want to say it was Night Bracket. I forget who it was, but it was Magyars, and it was into. Oh man, don't remember. Maybe Lithuanians. Maybe it was Lithuanians, not Magyars. But we ended up seeing Hand Cannoneer Halb shred Latest in Skirm because we didn't go to gold soon enough. So just to stress importance of gold here on the sides. Like, it can really swing a game when we're not doing that.
Absolutely.
I will say though, I favor Italians in this matchup 100 times.
You favor Italians over the Magyars.
It really comes down to Genoese crossbow. Is so deadly against Magyars because we want to be on Cav, and we want to be on Cav, and we want to be on Cav. And what are Genoese really good against? Cav. So it sucks because we have excellent CA, we have excellent Knights and Scout Cav. Or Hussars. And we even get Winged Hussar. And Genoese can just turn them all to butter.
Yeah, absolutely. And
so I find that a really rough matchup.
We see a dog from the Italians. I expected that because we saw in the previous game that Richard's Quest has a build order for hybrid maps, whereas Slicketyy does not. And we don't see a dog from Slicketyy. It's not necessary on this map, not as necessary as on other maps, but still we have 1,000 food up there. Plus, it's a nice place to have some fish traps, and if you wall the back part, it tends to be relatively safe.
I agree, and I like Richard's map here more for it too because it's very wallable. Like his base is extremely wallable, minus the front.
Yeah, the front is very open.
We can wall to our TC, and then instead of having to be on berries, we have safe fish. But if we're not gonna take back, like. Slicketyy is pushing deer, so I don't hate that. Or he had pushed deer. I saw something get pushed.
So we see a barracks from Slicketyy.
I dislike this barracks so much.
Up. The position is not right. It should be in the front of the base.
I like that we're placing it though.
It's at the right time. Yeah,
agreed. We want to be on scouts. I just don't like the placement. We've kind of blamed ourselves here.
And we see a barracks at the front for Richard's Quest, who's also up. But it's gonna be up a minute later. However, Richard's Quest is using 2 villagers, which I like for building the barracks. Not only because they build faster, but it's also about they are protecting each other. If scouts or whatever come in, they can fight back. Whereas a lone villager.
We're going forward for hunt with them.
Yeah.
So it's just very efficient.
Well, this is Richard's home map, so I assume they studied the map a little bit. They practiced it at least once, I hope.
I would hope. I do not like this mill that he plays though. I wanted a bit more forward. We can get 6 shorefish covered with that. Instead, we cover 2.
that's true. It's yeah.
It's a small thing, but the efficiency there matters.
Yeah.
Okay, we're on scout. We're on a.
So the stables are coming up from Slicketyy.
Instant spearmen for Richard. I'm very happy to see that.
Yeah, 3 spearmen in queue, and the stables from 2 villagers immediately.
So this is what I said last game. Just looking at Slicketyy's eco right now, we're 9 on berries. So this is an eco balance problem.
Yeah.
Where we've burned through all of our sheep and we're not abusing the extra food on this map. So this map comes with less sheep. I think it comes with 2 less. I think it's only 4 instead of 6 because of the fish. So now instead of abusing extra food, we're gonna force ourselves onto farms even sooner while making scouts.
Oh.
So if we're on...
There's been a villager death.
Where did that get picked? Was that the 4 HP one that was building the stable?
It is. The stable is half built. Yeah.
No.
Let's look back a little bit.
At the same time, we lost 2 scouts in the center.
So that was it. Yeah, the scout comes in, stop, and gets it.
That's a really good paying attention from Richard.
Wait, too fast. Where are you?
I'm 1233. I'm paused right now.
Okay, I'm 1243.
Okay, let me get caught up to you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm 1244, but...
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah. Okay, so we see a couple of scouts from Slicketyy and a couple of scouts from Richard's Quest as well.
So I will say this too, we just lost a Ville as Slicketyy.
Yeah.
We're scrambling now to get, so what we need now, right? We have 444 wood. Why are we not placing farms when we're about to run out of berries?
Yeah, absolutely, we need farms.
This is what I was gonna say too, right? If we're not gonna farm and we're gonna overcommit to on resource, we need to get the fish in the back, or we need to be on the hunt, like milling some of this hunt, or we need to be on farms. But then on the offside, we have a lot of spears. I think we've made 4 spears. One's just died.
Yeah.
From Richard.
Yeah, the 3 just died, I think, overall. No, it was, I don't know. I lost count.
We did see a Slicketyy pick a Ville under the TC, though.
Yeah, I mean, Slicketyy has the better scouts right now because of the free forging upgrade.
Forging.
Yeah. I do like the quick walls that Richard's Quest made. Resource walls on the wood. That's pretty good.
I like that. And I like that the Spearmen are defending a very exposed food eco.
Yeah.
But I do just like that we're farming now, but we're not taking berries. It's a very minor thing.
Yeah.
Because we've taken fish, so we think, oh, we don't need that. It's free. Just take it. It's literally free food.
Yeah, just to maybe clarify, on the berries we have 500 food. So with 100 wood, we can get 500 food. Whereas a farm has 175 because we have horse collar. With 60 wood, so the ratio is much better with a mill on the berries. We are also missing the sheep. I'm seeing Richard's Quest.
Yeah, we missed
the sheep. Yeah, and
it's also eco diversification too.
Yeah,
like in the early game where you're trying to balance the little res you have to be able to diversify here. So maximizing out like that is kind of the idea.
And we see more scouts from Slicketyy. Richard's Quest is defending well.
Very well, yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't ceded a lot of map control, but I do appreciate that for very little input. I think we've made 5 scouts total. And we've lost 2. We've picked a Ville, and we've got our opponent to commit to 9-10 spears now in feudal.
Yeah.
Which is insane how much eco behind that is. And several scouts that have only done 1 Ville, maybe?
Yeah, 1.
And it was a low HP Ville. So like we've got our opponent to overcommit in feudal.
And that was the initial scout, by the way, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're adding 2 archery ranges. And I think this is again a byproduct of the fact that we have so much wood floating. And yeah, we're adding more production buildings a bit too early. Like in feudal, that's too early.
If we take the second lumber camp, all 7 of these fills on food, this is such a smooth eco that I suddenly don't hate it.
Yeah. And yeah, the thing is, in feudal you want to see the farm every 60 wood, and that's an important mechanic to get into, especially this elo. You should start to think about this, like every 60 wood you should be building a farm, and it is very hard. It's gonna take a while to learn, but the better you can do that, and the better you set up your eco for later on, and the faster you can get to castle age with a strong eco.
Yeah, this eco balance right now is set up for archers with a little too much farm. Like that's the eco I'm seeing right now.
Yeah.
And like obviously now we are making archers, but I don't know. Something to suggest to you.
But why? I would go up rather than build archers.
Instead of having this, we could have been on anything other, like going up. I don't hate it though, right? Like, I don't hate archers for Magyars because all the upgrades we have are gonna go into CA later.
Yeah.
And against Italians, like, we already know that Genoese are gonna shred CA and gonna shred our Nightline. So if we're on archers, unironically later, Arbalesters will do better against Genoese in Imp, or like Expos will do better in Imp, basically.
Yeah.
Than Genoese. So like early, yeah, you'll lose that, but if you mass them now, you can stop them from getting to a mass that can win that fight.
However, what needs to be said about Italians is that they have a very wide tech tree. They can do anything they want, really. They don't get particular bonuses for them, but they can do anything they want.
Yeah, and it's discounts too, right? Like we can do everything. We have discounts, and we have so much gold on this map.
Yeah. So
it's really easy for them to get to that.
They could easily do knights crossbows if they want.
Yeah. Seeing the nice, yeah, all those scouts going down like that should not have happened.
Yeah. And the archers, we're gonna lose them, right?
Yeah, we're gonna lose them to Spearmen.
Yeah. And that's a better fight for Richard's Quest.
Yeah, we're up at the same time, but now what do we have? We have nothing. And we're making even more archers, and we've lost the start of a mass.
Yeah.
So now that we've lost it, just cancel all these archers and get CA. They're a bit harder to control, and they can be a bit wonky. They fire slower, but they're mobile.
Yeah.
So they're easier to control in terms of kiting. They're better rating units overall. And again, like your Magyars, you have some of the best CA in the game.
And now we're building a blacksmith. It's a bit late, but sure, better late than never.
Yeah. I think the problem we're seeing at this point is not only do we have our ego balanced awkwardly, so we have 800 wood and we're like, okay, I've got to spend 800 wood.
Yeah.
So what do I spend 800 wood on? I make archers in feudal. On my way up out of the 2 ranges, I panic built when I had 600 wood.
Yeah.
So it's just...
I mean, right now I wouldn't mind a 3rd range. Even a 4th, if you're going CA.
Yeah, I agree. But we also don't have enough on gold for that.
True.
Like we need 4 per. So if we wanted to do 4 archer range CA and castle, as we're going up, we needed to transition half of our farmers to the 2nd gold we have, and then commit to a 1 TC all in for the early game.
Yeah. We could even add a 2nd TC, but I wouldn't add more than 1 TC.
I agree. And something that like I can suggest here, if we're in this position where we're spending a lot of res, or we have a lot of res floating, commit to an all-in.
Yeah.
Because you obviously like aren't spending res, so committing to something very bold in castle, especially at this elo, can take a lot of people by surprise.
Absolutely. don't like that we got up to Castle Age and we haven't produced a unit yet.
I agree.
We are seeing some archers now from Slicketyy. Nothing yet from Richard's Quest. We're getting a pikeman upgrade. Wheelbarrow on the other side.
I don't like this castle at all.
But I mean, yeah, that castle it should be either you go to the front to ensure you have at least some control over the stone and some protection, or you directly go to the side to ensure that you have the gold.
I will say though, I appreciate that, like, as much as we said, hey, we have so much res, we are spending it. Like, we have crossbow, wheelbarrow, thumb ring, and bodkin all coming in at the same time.
Yeah.
And we have 14.
The timing is a
expo
bit
that we
late.
made.
The timing is a bit late.
Yeah.
The crossbow and bodkin should have been immediately after Castle Age, especially since we had the reds. But
I agree.
sure.
But I'd rather see it come in than not at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the thing too, like, we weren't under pressure, we weren't pressuring our opponents, so it being slightly delayed is something we can refine when we're, 1100. You know? I will say though, as Magyars, I just don't like crossbow as a generalized choice. Like, I immediately just see crossbow and I hate it instantly. We have no bonuses for our crossbows. And we'd prefer to be on CA.
So we are building a university. I like that we don't need to build it with 7 villagers. It's not, we're not in an emergency. One villager is fine. But if
we got Pavise coming in and we're getting Genoese masked. That's not the response we want to have to just pure crossbow.
That's probably, let me check, a matter of probably scouting. I don't know. Yeah, probably scouting. We haven't really looked at what the opponent is doing, but still we now see the crossbows and we are still going for the Genoese. I disagree with that.
Genoese are better in castle and they'll match up pretty well in castle, but I still don't like it. I'd rather just be on skirm or knight.
The problem with Genoese is that they get one less range, and that's really important.
But with Pavise, they're tanky. Like,
yeah.
In castle, they're just a little bit tankier than
gives
you expect.
+1/+1 armor. Is that it?
Yeah. And we have
more
HP.
But we don't have the archer armor, so
Correct.
Yeah. So our opponent who has the first two archers armor.
Like, I don't hate the choice as a whole. I'd rather defensive siege or skirm or knights. Our opponent is full expo at this point, and we've seen nothing other. Prepping it's fine, but in response to crossbow, it's not the choice.
Yeah, so what I was saying, the opponent has +2 armor, and we have only +1, which, I mean, if we had the other upgrades, it would be great.
That's fair.
And we're also late with Fletching and Botkin and so on. But yeah, in this position, like, you see this mass of crossbows, definitely go skirmishers.
Yeah. Or siege. One defensive siege workshop.
Also siege, yeah. I always forget siege.
Yeah. It's easy to forget, like, even I do, right? Yeah. But I will say, like, something I suggest to everybody, I do it myself a lot too. If you think you're going to struggle to control mangoes, scorpions. It's such a simple thing.
Yeah.
They need to be masked, sure, but they're a lot easier to micro. And if you have 2 or 3 of them, this ball of 23 expo, even if they go in to kill 1 or 2 of them, by the time they get done doing it, they'll be almost dead.
Yeah. And
you trade 27 for 3 scorpions. So yeah, it's not as efficient as a mango, but it's easier.
Yeah, they're also cheaper. Yeah.
So it just comes down to being ease of access.
Yeah, and scorpions are anyway better against CA.
Yeah, especially that too. Now you've also denied your opponent going CA, and if you want to go knights and they go pike, you have a direct counter to that too.
Yeah. Yeah, Richard's Quest is being too passive here in this game. Yep. We are adding 3 TCs now, which I like now. Now I think it's the right time. 4 TCs is too much.
It's a bit too much, yeah. But I do appreciate that we waited this time. So game 1, the problem I had is we overcommit to a boom.
Yeah.
But now we have a winning position. We're applying pressure.
Yeah.
Our opponent hasn't come attacked us.
Yeah.
Now we can boom.
Absolutely.
The problem I have with it is we have 14 farmers because our eco's been set up for expo. And instead of going 3 TCs and immediately building farms, we went 4 TCs and all of them are on wood.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We have only 14 farms. That's not enough for 3 TCs, let alone 4.
Oh, the crossbow get on the wood line in the back. It's so many vills.
Yeah.
Oh, it hurts.
12 overall. Yeah, I mean, you have all the upgrades, right, for the crossbows. So it is the perfect time to go for extra TCs. Yeah. Just... yeah, instead of having a 4th, add more farms. You build 3 and you add more farms with the wood that you have. And then maybe you think about the 4th.
Right, like, because the way you got to approach a TC is whatever you place it on, that's where the vills get tasked.
Yeah.
So we have our starting TC, and then we have 3 that are all on wood. So our wood eco is going to be insane. I wouldn't not be surprised if we hit a point where half of our eco is on wood. This castle should go up too.
It will go up, but I think we'll lose a few villages. Oh, not like that.
That's
okay.
so many.
Oh.
Yeah, that's huge.
Plus,
even if
the positioning of this castle is... I mean, I guess, because you're being pressured, but yeah, I mean, that's just the victory of itself. You forced your opponent to do a castle in this position, which is not great. We have idols everywhere in the castle as well.
We also have what, 28 eco KD? It's
Yeah.
his entire fishing eco is down. We've idled 2 TCs, or a TC worth of
We're
bills.
building
We've
a
forced the castle.
TC. We need an answer to the crossbows. We don't need a TC.
Yeah, we're behind in bills, but this isn't gonna matter if we can't stop crossbow.
Yeah, absolutely.
We also got light cav for what, 1 light cav? This like I just noticed.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I feel like there might have been a play there to add in light cav if we saw skirms, but I don't see why we wouldn't also just add them anyway.
Yeah.
If you're expecting skirms, then just add them. Maybe the Genoese stopped him though. Those crossbow are dead now.
Yeah, they are. They are under the fire of the castle and 2 TCs. And the
We're still getting
crossbows.
value out of them.
Yeah, we're still getting value.
Like, we're killing Genoese, we killed a Vill.
And we're hiding
Yeah,
some
those
eco.
crossbow got way more value than they should have.
Yeah. But now Slicketyy has 2 army, 1 crossbow and 1 light cav, and we're going up to imp.
What are we doing in imp now, though?
Yeah, we don't even have a castle. So I would rather have a lot of army. That castle is terrible.
I hate it. I absolutely despise this
It's
castle.
terrible. If it were a castle built 20 minutes ago, it would be great. Maybe slightly off position, but it would be great. At 40 minutes, no. You need army and place a forward castle. You need to further...
If it's on the left side gold, I like this castle so much more.
Yeah. Either on the gold or at the edge of the base. Like I'm thinking in front of the 2 archery ranges, and maybe even range the farms there, the gold. Well, it's running out, but... a castle that applies pressure.
Yeah. We're now adding stables too, and we're getting upgrades for Cav. I don't think our eco is set up for this in Imp. We're gonna get the Imp with 1500 gold, but no wood, or no food.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting Corvian army. Why are we getting Corvian army?
Yeah.
That's
the unique thing that removes the gold cost of the Magyar Hussar.
I hate Magyar Hussar as a primary option. In my opinion, it is the panic unit of I have castles and I need something now to counter something like skirms or expo.
I mean, Magyar Hussar get a bonus against siege. But yeah, I mean the normal Hussar is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
and comes out of stables. The problem of the Magyar Hussar comes out of castles, and we have one castle, which we will need for traps if we are in Imp. Why are we in Imp if we don't build traps? But building traps and not having army... I like that we're adding farms. We're late to that, but I like that.
We're adding them. We're getting there.
Yeah.
But now here's the problem. We've built 3 extra stables. We have 5 stables.
And 0 production.
And what have we done with it? Yeah. Like, sure, we've gotten to Imp faster, but our opponent doesn't care. Like, we don't even have a treb.
The problem is that our opponent is also not doing anything, and right now we have 108 villagers for Slicketyy and 56 for Reacher's Quest.
And our opponent bought his way to Imp.
Yeah. Probably
I think
concerned.
This is a case, though, of us full committing to Expo and getting away with it is put us at ego ahead.
What is that castle? What? Yeah.
If we're gonna place castles like this and we're not being pressured, put them on the resources that are gonna win us the map.
Yeah.
1 second.
I don't get it. So we have one crossbow attacking the house.
I didn't see the time on this, but I'm sorry. I love you. You don't have to, but if you do, thank you. Love you. Sorry, I had to take a call real quick.
No worries, no worries. I hate those castles.
Yeah,
Both of them.
Every single one of them I despise.
Yeah, all 3 of them actually, yeah.
And here's the thing too, here's how I look at these castles. If we really want to commit to Magyar Hussar, why? First off, why do we want to commit to Magyar Hussar when our opponent is on Genoese?
Yeah.
I know it's such a small thing, but like, I keep referring to it because the one thing that we want to produce out of castles takes so long to mass out of castles.
And we're getting a lead.
Yeah, our opponent has the direct counter unit, and the worst part is, we're placing castles simply to get
No.
I hate this castle so much.
No. What is this?
I want production. So this is the trick. This is the noob trap that I'll call it, of wanting a unique unit from your castle.
Yeah.
And like, as somebody who plays Mongols aggressively, like, castles are great when you want production, but every single one of them has to do something for you.
And now we have 15 Magyar Hussars in queue.
Yeah.
From
like, sure, like, if you want to be committed to this unit, I don't hate it, right? Like, I dislike being on Magyar Hussar. But, like, if we want to commit to it, we don't build castles for just production. We want them on resources that are going to earn us something or are going to prevent our opponent from expanding. Like, think about the first castle we placed. If we put it on this gold on the left, our opponent isn't on gold.
Yeah, exactly.
The second castle, if we put it on the right one, we secure a gold for us.
Yeah. And our opponent has no options anymore. We have all the gold that we need. We can go double gold comp. And what do? We build a unit that requires no gold.
Exactly. And, like, if we wanted the 5th castle on that stone, I don't hate that one, right? The first one, though, if it's on the farm eco on the left, cool, then we've defended it. But the first 2 castles we should have placed should have been on resources to earn us resources and deny our opponent.
Hey, Slicketyy is in chat, so let's be nice. We did preface this. You got very unlucky. We are very critical in general, but we are critical of ourselves as well because we like to improve at the game, and that's why we point out these things.
I complain about castles, but just ask Bergwin about my Hun castle on Spiral.
Yes.
That's all I have to say.
But look at these very few crossbows. They are doing a ton of damage. I mean, the numbers are not there, so the Magyar Hussar will still win. But yeah, they did a ton of damage.
Yeah. Like, both of these castles from Richard, as much as I hate them, they are capable of defending his ego until we hit, obviously we have 41 Magyar Hussar on the field.
Yeah.
But, like, both these castles earn him a defensive position, defend his ego, and we can mass Genoese from him.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't do that. That's why we lost, right? We stopped producing vills, we stopped producing army. We didn't produce anything, and that's why we were totally unprepared. But if there were 20 Genoese crossbowmen or something like that, I think they might have won that fight.
Yeah, I agree. And I think too, like, looking at this game compared to game 1, we're at 144 vills at game end.
Yeah,
This is what
good.
we should have done last game too.
Yeah.
But we also waited until we were 40 some minutes into the game to get the food eco we needed to mass Magyar Hussar.
Yeah.
And I think if we look at how this map played out, like, I'm going to be real critical for a sec. We ran out of gold, which is why we went Corvian Army, and we went 5 castles to make Magyar Hussar. But if we think about if we place both those castles on gold, we no longer need to depend on Magyar Hussar on pure gold. We can make Cavalier, and we can flood our opponent. We can make Hand Cannoneer.
Absolutely.
Or CA, sorry. And we can just absolutely shred our opponent.
Absolutely. We could even get Paladin on this map.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, we have all the options, and all we needed to do was change where our first 2 castles go.
Yeah. Because here, Richard's Quest got very passive. I liked the first game much better. Richard's Quest
just looked at his scouting.
Very passive. And but if it were not, and expanded to the sides and took these golds on the sides and actually expanded the economy that way, and then the army, I don't see how we win this, right?
If you check his scouting, he doesn't see them.
Who's scouting?
Slicketyy.
Slicketyy doesn't see the sides?
Yeah, he has no vision on them.
Oh, that's a problem, yeah.
He scouted everything but those gold piles.
Yeah, on this map is a big problem.
Yeah.
Because, did the gold run out in the base? Maybe that's why we went Magyar Hussar.
Yeah, the gold ran out.
That's why we went Magyar Hussar then.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
Like again, I don't hate it because, like, if we don't assume there's gold on the side, right, and we run out of gold, again, it's not a bad thing, right? But then it becomes a scouting issue, which is, that can be an issue whatever you.
I mean, it's both a scouting issue and the problem of not opening the map before playing it. Like, even if you did not do it up to the last minute, just take 1 minute to open a single player game, reveal all the map, look at how it looks like, where the main resources are, just so you have at least an idea of what it is. Yeah. But
I will say my only complaint with this game is I hate that we went crossbow.
Yeah.
Like, they earned us a lot, but here's my thing, right? We lost the first archer mass in feudal, and we had already 2 archery ranges. Yeah. Then on our way up, we built the blacksmith. At that point, don't mass archers. Just start massing CA.
Yeah,
and
cavalry
like
archers.
Build two more archer ranges and just 4 CA.
Yeah.
On the because we did exactly what we wanted for that kind of eco, where we stayed on 1 TC to allow us to facilitate that. So I definitely think like that's a better play, but that's a personal thing because I love CA, 2 I play Magyars enough to, appreciate that, and most of that is because of our base.
Yeah. Well, it might be unexpected for many, but actually the Magyars have the best CA in the game. You don't expect it, you think more about cavalry, but CA is actually very, very strong with them, especially with the unique tech. The other one, not Corvian Army, but recurve bow that gives them +1 attack, +1 range, I think.
Correct. It's basically Bracer.
Yeah.
On crack.
Yeah. So you get Bracer on top of Bracer.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah.
I just can't stress how much I love it.
Yeah. And on this map, it's also a good option because the map is quite big. Mobility is important here. That's a good option.
It's also a very open map. It's kind of like Arabia, right? Like I made the statement at the beginning that you can definitely fast castle in this.
Mm-hmm.
But it also plays enough like Arabia where mobility matters.
Yeah. But yeah, with that being said, good games, well played. Congratulations for the victories. They are well deserved because in the end you did a good job. And we pointed out quite a few things, but that's not to be taken as we didn't like the game. We actually like the games, right?
I agree.
And yeah, I wish Richard's Quest was a bit, maybe he was demoralized from the first loss. I think they played much better in the first game.
I think we need to be proactive too for Richard's Quest. Like, we're reacting.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with Slicketyy. Like, both games is a game of reacting, not being proactive. And this is a game where reacting will get you killed a lot of times.
Yeah. I wanted to look at some stats if there's something interesting.
We didn't see any trade cards this game.
We didn't see any trade cards, that's true. And yeah, again, we see the army like going up like crazy in Imperial from Slicketyy, which is not a bad thing, but honestly, against higher rated opponents, that's gonna cost you a lot because you're gonna lose earlier. You're not gonna get to that point because you don't have enough army.
Like, we hit a point where we did so much damage to our opponent that it didn't matter that we were this slow and rebalancing our eco.
Yeah.
But let's say we're 800 now. Let's just say we're 1,000. 200 elo might not seem like a big climb, but at 1k, not having that eco balance will lose you probably 50% of your games.
Absolutely.
Because an opponent that has the slightest amount of eco rebalance could just go, cool, I can be on pikeman, stop this. Or we'll see Expo, and again, like, they're reacting, which is something I don't like, but they have the eco balance to react properly. And that's the bigger difference there.
Yeah. So, differently than the first game here, I don't like the castle timing. I think it's very late. We saw a lot of feudal aggression, but honestly, it didn't bring much to either player.
Yeah, we lost scouts. We overcommitted to pikes or spears. Sorry, as Richard.
Yeah.
That's another thing too. Like, if we see our opponent make 3 scouts, we do not need 10 spearmen.
Yeah.
A spearman can take 3 scouts, or can scare off 3 scouts. It'll kill 2.
I guess they were a bit worried about the fact that the opponent was Magyars and changes that balance a little bit. So I understand going on to more spears, but definitely 10 was too many.
Yeah, and even then, right? Like, let's assume our opponent has 6, we still only need like 3.
Yeah.
And if we're worried about it becoming an issue in castle, well, we'll have the eco in castle, and on our way up to castle, we can start building spearman mass.
Yeah, yeah.
But we don't want to do it in feudal when we're getting our eco together, starting to figure out what our army comp is going to be. We're just kind of, we're screwing ourselves.
Yeah, Slicketyy says he told me he was worried for the scout rush, and I get that. However, and on the flip side, I think a mistake from Slicketyy here was that, okay, you see so many spearmen, why build more feudal army to counter it, and not decide, you know what, let's go to castle. I'll do 2 knights and all those spears are dead.
Yep. And that's the thing too, like, if we're Richard and we're worried about scout rush, cool, we can make a few spears be defensive. But then if we're Slicketyy, instead of committing more to feudal, we gotta look at our opponent and go, spears cost food? They made 10 spearmen? Mm-hmm. That's basically 600 food right there. So that is our entire castle age. We just go up. By the time we're up in castle, they're just starting to click it. And we can be on knights, and 4 knights will clear up all those spearmen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or we're on CA, which does the same thing as Magyar.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a very Magyar, but just knights alone will solve that.
Yeah.
And then he can't turn those into pikemen and make a good counter unit. Like, we're just ahead.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah. So that was about timing. That was the key thing. Not going up at the right time. I've played Magyars to practice, says Slicketyy. Built 0 CA so far. Yeah.
That hurts.
You have something new to try out.
I will say, out of every civ that wants to do CA, the easiest one is Magyars. Because they're very streamlined, and they're very vanilla, and then you hit Imp. So it teaches you to reserve mass and how to control them. And it's unexpected. Most players aren't going to be ready for it, unless you're, 1400 plus. Because most people under 1400 think Magyars are mostly an early scout civ and a night civ.
Yeah.
They think about CA late, but you can abuse CA early as Magyars.
Yeah. And ironically, Slicketyy researched all the texts that are needed for the CA. He had ballistics, thumbring, Botkin arrow, even the archer armor that's not really needed for the CA, and I believe there were also there was bloodlines, and is there husbandry? No, wait, this is light cav.
No, we did get husbandry.
Here, yeah, I see husbandry. Yeah, a bit late, but we see it. So basically, we had all the upgrades to have fully upgraded CA. The only thing that was missing was recurve bow.
And bracer plus chem.
We didn't get bracer in imp because we didn't have archers, so kind of makes sense. Yeah.
It falls into the weird thing though, but it's not like Mongols where you expect it. It's not like Huns where you expect CA. Magyars are you can throw that curveball, because they'll also have, like in this game we had 10 spears? They're expecting more of that. And that's where you can throw that curveball, get your advantage, you're up to imp faster, because you've probably done damage, and that's where your CA take off into a huge lead.
Yeah. And
if you lose the mass to skirms, you have Magyar Hussar, you have Winged Hussar, like you have every counter you need to that.
Absolutely. That's also kind of the nice thing about Magyars, right? If they really go full counter to your CA, you still have the Hussar, you still have the Knights or the Cavalier or the Paladin. You really have options in that sense.
Yeah.
But anyway, good games. And we're gonna switch to the next set. We'll have to update our game to be able to play that. So Slicketyy says, very good analysis, guys. Gave me a lot of insights. I'm happy if it helps you.
Same.
Keep in mind that we are not geniuses. Like, I'm 900 elo. ZeldaSquad is a bit higher, 1200, right? Right now.
1150ish right now.
1150ish, yeah. So we do plenty of mistakes, right? And sometimes the same as you did. So
yeah, you could be me, Slicketyy, who's played this game for 23 years and claims that their game knowledge is super good, but then didn't realize that you only needed a castle to go to imp.
That's true. That happened the other day.
Yeah. So, again, we're not perfect, and we are very critical, as Bergman has said, but our criticalness comes from the fact that both of us want to improve, and we both approach this game as if people want to improve, that's the point. Like, you have to be a bit critical to be able to improve.
Yeah. So, okay, let me maybe switch to the draft of the other game. I have to find it though. We're gonna be casting next the game. Let me put the announcement. Casting Lime, we said, versus the Fool. SFC.
I'm gonna update my game real quick.
And let's get the drafts up. So these are from the Archers bracket. Let's get in here. Do you have the drafts?
Yeah, I have mine up right now. I'm just updating my game to the new one so I can
Yep.
get
I
everything
will
sorted.
also have to do that. So no, that's the wrong one. I got the wrong one.
Come on, Bergwin. Supposed to be professional,
Yeah, sure.
prepared casters or something.
Absolutely. This is 100% my daily job. Can't you tell?
I feel that.
From the high production quality.
Well, if you win your bracket, I have to make this my full-time job.
Yeah, absolutely. There's still a tiny chance. You're not off the hook yet.
Everybody who's in Bergwin's bracket, start throwing games. Give me a fear. Give me a real fear. Let's see if I can.
So yes, I got the drafts up.
Yeah, I still don't know if my thing is gonna work through cache rage. It looked like.
So I have to update Age of Empires now. How do I do that?
I just have to reverse the beta code, I believe.
Right. Yep. Yeah, it's updated.
Yeah, there it goes. It's updated for me too.
Good.
I subtly love this draft the longer I look at it.
So, just a second.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. That one is... Okay. We are here. Refresh. I want to... Yep. Okay. I am ready for it. Okay. So, let's take a look at the drafts. Lime versus the Fool SFC has been played today. And we know that some interesting strategy has been played. We'll see. I'm not spoiling anything for people who have not seen it yet. And yeah. So, we'll start with Langanari. And we might see African reed beds again and outcrop for the Fool SFC.
Yeah, I love this map. First off, I'm more upset that Lime got Mongols.
Yeah.
Every time I see somebody gets to play Mongols, I cry a little bit on the inside.
Because you never get to play Mongols.
No, nobody, nobody ever is gonna let me play Mongols. It's not my fault though that I have like 200 plus games.
Yeah, that might be a tell that you like Mongols. The other day when I played my set, like my opponent opened my profile and was like, "Oh shit, what do I ban?"
Nobody knows what to ban against you.
And,
not even me.
I think he banned Berbers, and I can't remember the other one. Saracens, I think. And yeah, I was like, yeah, okay, you banned Berbers, good.
You banned Berbers, good.
I was a bit sad for the Saracens, but yeah.
I do love Saracens.
So banned, we see Japanese and Byzantines from Lime, and the Fool banned Georgians. That's not a Fool move, if you ask me.
I agree.
And Lithuanians. Also, this one is not the trait of a Fool. So
yeah, it's a very balanced. Like especially too, if you look at the maps, Georgian, Lagangati outcrop dominating, Lithuanians, Lagangati outcrop dominating. Same with even African reed bows.
Yeah.
I do dislike that as Lime we banned 2 Civs that are good on hybrid maps and then didn't play a single hybrid map outside of African.
Yeah.
And even then, like, I wouldn't even consider that a hybrid map. So I do dislike that.
But so first pick is Franks for Lime and Romans for the Fool. Khmer, Poles, and Mongols for Lime, and Saracens, Incas, and Celts. So I don't see Mesocivs very often in lower brackets, in lower elo. Tends to be a bit weird to play without knights. So I'm very interested to seeing that. However, Mesocivs are really strong. Incas are right now arguably the strongest of the three, and especially if you're gonna face a knight civilization, Incas do have a lot of options. The Kamayuk is amazing against cavalry, and
I think it's hard too because comparatively to the other two, like you get a discount, you have, you can do some funny things with Vills. Because of your blacksmith upgrades, you have the widest mesotech tree that you can get, and you have the best unique unit in most situations. And if you absolutely can't get on it, you still have Halb, and then you have some of the best skirms out of meso because you have no min range, and you technically have a hand cannon knockoff and slinger.
Yeah. Hey Nando, welcome to the chat.
Welcome, Nando.
And I agree. Incas are definitely very interesting. Maybe let's quickly remind the bonuses that they get. So they get cheaper military units in food cost. So they cost less food. The villagers are affected by blacksmith upgrades starting in the castle, so they are stronger. And they have houses that support 10 population instead of 5.
That's very good for me.
And cheaper stone buildings. So walls and towers, castles, and so on. Plus they get 2 unique units, as we said, the Kamayuk from the castle, which is kind of a better spearman. And the Slinger, which is basically a hand cannoneer without gunpowder.
I also think they're probably the easiest of the Mesocivs to play. I think their one weakness is Eagles, though. That is their biggest weakness, which leaves them in the weird position of, as much as I praise their skirmishers, they will struggle, I think, against archer civs, because any civ that has decent archers is probably either going to be able to outmass or get to that critical mass early, whereas skirms are good, but Eagles are a bit easier to get going, and when you have a weakness to that, I think it puts them a little behind.
Personally, I'm in love with the Eagles because they are so easy to use as a raiding unit, because you don't have to care so much about TC fire. You can actually dive the TC if you have some armor upgrades, and kill some villagers and then get out, like without worrying, oh, I have to be careful not to get into the TC range at all costs. You can tank some arrows.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things. I think my favorite ones are probably Aztec Eagles. As much as I want to sit here and laugh in 100 HP Eagles as Mayans, Aztec Eagles just feel better to use.
The Nando says that on paper Incas are amazing, but I'm always terrible with them. And the Fool says me too. So, nice choice.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Nando mentioning the eco bonuses, basically they're in everything except gold. I think their eco bonus is in the fact that they get a discount on basically everything in terms of food.
Yeah.
So everything they want to do, their eco bonus ends up existing just in discounts. And anybody who knows me, a discount is, yes. I love a good Age of Empires discount.
Okay, so the first map is gonna be Langanati. What do we expect there? I think Franks is an option.
Yeah.
And Saracens. I wouldn't mind the Saracens.
I think it's really hard to not play. Yeah. If I'm looking at drafts, if I see Franks Khmer, I want to get Saracens out on the map that is either neutral or my home map. And I would not want Saracens on Outcrop, because we'd have Mongols Poles for that, or Khmer, which all can do early game and late game very well.
Mm-hmm.
And Saracens would struggle in those matchups. So I think Saracens has to be the play here. And we played into, honestly, Khmer. Lagangati has some funky strats you can get away with there. And mid to late game, when your farms start getting spaced out and you're running into all the openness of Lagangati, having like just auto deposit is just too good to pass up.
All right, so let's switch into the game. So Langanari is the first game.
Yeah, Nando mentioning 10 house pop as a wood bonus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I stopped at 5 seconds.
Yeah. 1 sec. My couch rage decided it's gonna take very long to load.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm at 5 seconds.
Okay, so let's switch to the game, and yeah, you can count down.
For
For-
Pow in my chat. I'm looking at Beargrin's stream for that chat too. We're both streaming there. So, if that helps.
So
3, 2, 1, go.
okay, so first game of Lime versus the Full SFC from the T90 Community Cup. This is the Spearmen bracket, the Archer bracket, sorry. And we see Lime in yellow with the Khmer on Langanari against the Fool in red with the Romans.
This matchup makes me happy.
This matchup makes you happy?
Yeah.
It's gonna be Scorpions versus Scorpions?
Basically, yeah. Scorpions, if you can't tell, to anybody who's watched my streams lately, for as little as they become, or has talked to me in any capacity, one of my favorite things of late has become Scorpions. So this already makes me happy.
Yeah.
But I think this is also like a really good matchup, right? So they're both around 850. I think that's about where we're at, maybe 900.
No, they're actually a bit lower than the bracket we've seen before. So I would still expect 800-ish. Low 800, I think.
I will say though, I think Romans at this point are extremely good for most players. They're very streamlined. They're very simple. They have, in my opinion, the best eco bonus in the game.
Yeah, 5% faster collection of resources, right?
Yeah, it's faster collection, build speed, collected speed.
Yeah,
like it's
I think it's 5%. Oh, we lost the villager to a boar. That's so sad. It's 5% work rate or something like that, right? It's the what's the wording?
It's basically 5% to everything.
Yeah.
So for me personally, I think it's the best. We also have a very easy way to get out of hand early. If our opponent goes Scout Rush, we have instant, easy, deadly pikemen who are not only hard to kill, we get double armor early, and then castle we have scorpions. We have some of the best scorpions in the game.
Yeah.
Because of ballistics, they're discounted.
And they fire faster.
Yeah. I think the only scorpions that would compete are Celt scorpions on HP and fire rate alone. But even then, it's such a deadly comp for Romans. And then we look at Khmer, and what do we want to be on? We want to be on Scorpions, or Elephant Scorpions, or however it's pronounced. We have very easy ways to cheese getting to 2 stable feudal. So if we realistically wanted to do it, we could, but we already know it's Romans. So we're going to see elephants and scorpion elephants, and then we're going to have scorpions and pikes. So it's just pure scorpions, and that makes me
who knows?
Insanely happy.
So yeah, maybe quickly about the map. This is kind of a hybrid map because we have this lake in the middle where there's 3 deep fish. So that's not a lot of fish compared to other maps. you might go for the dock or you might not. However, it's generally not a very good idea to commit heavily to hold control of the water. But you do have shorefish. That shorefish can be a big boost because villagers, that's the fastest food source for villagers, any kind of fish. And you can actually build a mill to gather those fish if you want.
This map's also very funky too, because not a lot of people are ready for the gold being walled in with wood.
Yeah, you have these big piles of gold that you can see at the beginning. So if we switch to the player vision, they do see it, like it's already visible, and you only see your own. So the other side you don't see it, but yeah.
I will say though, I'm already a little disappointed in Lime. We've went to the backwood line and we're not chopping out our gold.
Yeah, Lime. Oh, he's building a barracks at the very back. That's also a position I don't like. Yeah. I mean, the backwood line is a bit easier to defend, but it's true it doesn't give you the access to the big pile of gold right away, because around the TC you only have 4 tiles of gold. So that's not a lot. It's good to get you started, but yeah.
And Fool's up already.
Fool is up already, and so is Lime, but a minute later.
Yeah. And we're housed as Fool, but it looks like we want to go archers. But
Well,
we don't have a barracks.
it's a 20 pop build, so it's fine as long as we build the house before we are up. Should we starting now the house? No, we are gonna be housed. No loom. No loom for the Fool.
But it is queued right behind Feudal. I dislike this mill we placed on our berries too.
Yeah, I agree. I'd rather have the mill on the shorefish, because the berries, first of all, they are slower to gather, and second, you could argue you could use the TC for that. It's not super efficient, but
it's also blocking our farms.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna see a fast castle from Fool. I like this. It's risky. I will say on this map, this is very risky in my opinion.
yeah. See, market and blacksmith. We are walling in our villagers that are on the wood and gold a little bit.
And we sold our stone right away.
Prepare, yeah. And we are almost ready to click up. We are a bit missing the timing, I think.
Yeah, and we screwed ourselves a little bit by not getting... By getting house, we're now down 2 bills.
So Lime is building a blacksmith and a stable. Sorry, a table.
A table?
That's so funny. A table. And he's also doing
something I appreciate. I know Khmer don't need to build the barracks. Something a lot of people will do now is build it.
Yeah.
Just to have the 1 or 2 spears and a scout up. But against Romans, I don't know if it's necessarily needed.
Yeah, and so we see the stable up.
So we're up to castle, but we idled our TC. We got house, so we're 4 vills behind. So what's our plan when we're in castle? We don't even have the stone because we sold stone.
We have...
So we can't boom.
We have 5 on gold. We're building the houses now.
If our plan is to go scorpions very fast, then sure. But I hate that, because not only are we up with less vills, I don't think our eco is there to commit to some all-in siege pushes, especially when we don't have pikemen around.
Lime Scout is idle. The scout from the Fool avoided the TC fire. TC don't hit anything, as they say.
Yeah. We also added a stable and we haven't added a scout to go in with it.
Yeah.
I dislike that a lot. But we're playing as if we're going scouts. We got our eco upgrades.
Yeah, we're adding horse collar, arguably a bit late considering we have already 6 farms.
Yeah, very late for that.
Yeah.
If it's 3 farms, it's fine. Once you hit 6, I think it's a problem.
Yeah. And we are walling in our gold. I don't like that because it's only 2 tiles of gold. That gold is gonna run out crazy fast. And since we are on the other one and we already freed the big pile of gold, I would rather build a mining camp there and wall that part in.
I agree. I think it's unnecessary.
And we see an immediate monastery and siege workshop forward for the fool.
Okay, I don't hate this play. Right? I hate it because we're 800 elo. That's actually why I dislike this. This is such a complicated play to make.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to take a minute to point out the fact of our eco. We are 11 vills behind. We have almost 2 minutes of idle time. We sold our stone to go up. And the first thing we make out of the siege workshop is scorpions. I know we're, like, as much as I praise Roman scorpions, if we're gonna do this forward, it needs to be a mango for the TC. What we're trying to accomplish here is actually putting pressure on our opponent very quickly.
The problem I see
scorpions
with
are gonna
this...
do pressure.
Yeah.
But we're just not gonna kill as fast.
Yeah. The problem I see with this is that Laika will kill the siege.
Yeah.
Because...
And, like, everything here dies to Lycav.
Yeah, because the siege has minimum range. And Lime actually saw this because the scout has come around here and the scorpions have, 2 scorpions have come out. But yeah, I mean, we have 3 scorpions now. Yeah, a couple of scouts, and I don't think there's a way to defend that because what are you gonna do? A monk? A monk will also die to the Lycav or to the scouts.
I think if we do siege pike, this is better. I
Yeah.
don't like the
If there's spikes in front, then that's a different thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and like as much as I say I don't like this play because of our elo, one of the reasons I hate it is because monks are very hard to control, even for me. Like I'm 1200-ish, and I struggle with monks. So like that's half my reasoning, but the other half of it is Lycav at this point are going to snipe all this siege like it's nothing. So we should just be going pikemen here.
Lime is saying I should have cancelled castle and 14 fuel. I don't know.
I disagree.
You clicked up, it's fine. You have the farms. You're a bit, yeah, the wood. Okay, you know, it's because you're building another stable, which is good in the back. Definitely, you should do that. Maybe not. You don't need 13 villages to build one stable, but sure. So you have even too much wood. Arguably, you could add more farms, but the point is you're not producing scouts. You're not producing anything. Like I would have started with scouts, and once you're in castle, maybe you add knights because sure knights are better. Because now see, we killed 5 scouts and 1 knight, but the 5 scouts could have been out already.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the other problem we're having is we're reacting to where our opponent is putting our scorpions. So when the scorpions were in the front of our base, we waited for a Vil to die to move them off farms. And then when they hit the left now, we're moving after they've come here.
Yeah.
But like, look at how fast this 1 knight kills 4 scorpions. So imagine if that was 3 scouts before this mass hit, and we lost 2 Vils, now 4.
Yeah. Because now there's no Lycav to protect the knight from the monks.
Correct.
Okay, the knight went down, but still. Because we didn't kill
like
other knights, because we don't have anything on gold. And that's a bigger problem. But we can go full scouts and maybe Lycav, you know? But now it's starting to be a bit late.
Yeah. Like, we're just reacting too late is the problem. If we had massed the scouts when we first saw the pressure coming while we were going up, I like it so much more.
Yeah. Also, we let the monk convert a scout. That's no good. No bueno. No bueno.
Yeah. I don't hate the knight play either. Like, we just don't have the gold for it, and scouts are easier to mass on the way up.
Yeah.
And it counters all of this. Scouts alone stop all of this. We kill monks, we kill siege. Now the problem we're having for Fool is we're running scorpions under a TC, and we don't have anything to kill the TC.
Yeah.
We need a mango. We need a mango or a battering ram.
Yeah, the ram went down. And yeah.
But now here's the thing we're running into, right? As Fool, we're all in. If this doesn't work, we're dead.
Yeah.
So if
So
Lime can push
another
this back,
stable for Lime. The problem is now his food eco is idled.
Yeah.
7 on
but
food.
he has a market. I'm gonna say this now. He can abuse market here to just buy. We have stone. We're not building more TCs. Just commit to stopping this. Like, he doesn't know. I bet he does not realize that his opponent has none on food, has 6-minute idle time.
Yeah.
And if this push doesn't go anywhere, he's just dead.
I mean, there's idle villagers here because the gold ran out. This is very inefficient gold. And we haven't started with this gold yet. I really dislike that. But the wood, okay, it's gonna take a while, but it's gonna run out here.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're using the knights to attack the monks. We're gonna lose both. Yeah, we lost both knights.
Yeah.
So that's just throwing away army. And yeah, Lime is laughing about it.
Yeah. I think, like, as much as I dislike the play right away, I appreciate that we went for this all-in. This is an all-in I can appreciate.
Yeah. So we have a knight chilling, but with the monks out and no light cav, of course the knight is kind of useless. Yeah.
Lime said he really wasn't laughing at this point.
I really wasn't laughing. So now we are on gold, but on essentially nothing else. Yeah. And the thing is, your Khmer, those villagers, you could place farms on the edge of the map. Who cares? You don't need...
they don't need to be efficient.
Yeah. You can move somewhere else with everything.
Like, your whole eco cannot be here. Like, you moved your wood eco. All these vills on gold, just shove them on another corner. They don't matter where they go with food.
So the monk gets killed, but they are trying to kill the ram. They will manage, but one knight gets converted, and that's super bad. And now Mangonel is out. Redemption as Khmer, you asked.
No, we got redemption as Romans because we're converting a barracks.
Oh yeah, he got redemption. Yeah. Oh yeah, we converted the barracks right here.
Now half our eco is the Romans is idle because we ran out of the gold we vaulted.
Yeah,
and we're so
and the other one as well. And the other one as well ran out. So
we're so focused on this push.
So we have 8 villagers working of 31. I mean, the push is working, so...
Yeah, it's working great here at this point.
Yeah. And WTF?
I think the play here, to be honest, is not to cancel castle, like you said. I think it's not to go knights. I think it's to mass scouts while you're going out.
Yeah. You needed more scouts. Probably use the resources you can gather to upgrade them, even because the scorpions are still going to do damage. But yeah, use the mobility of the scouts to snipe the monks and then snipe the siege, because the scorpions, like any siege, has a minimum range. Well, the rams technically don't have a minimum range, right? But the scorpions and mangonels do have a minimum range. So if you're onto them, they can't shoot.
The big thing too is your scouts are going to counter the monks. They're super resistant to the conversion.
Yeah.
You can place your farms anywhere. So like Bergman said, and I said earlier, you can just take your farms and throw them behind your wood eco. And it doesn't even matter where he's pushing then, because you can just farm there.
Yeah.
You have a market, so you can kind of buy your eco. And I know you don't see it behind this, but if your opponent is doing it all in like this, you have to assume if I stop this all in, I can just kill my opponent.
Yeah.
Because typically they've streamlined their economy into just nothingness.
Yeah.
And if I look back at his eco, we have 8 vills working out of 31. And if he doesn't kill 12 vills here, you're up in eco. He has no stone. He's all in on this. So once this push is dead, all the knights you have just get shoved over to... Or all the scouts you have just get shoved over to his eco and he's dead.
So we just get a raid from the Niera AoE. Thank you very much for the raid. I have Nightbot that is going crazy with the Modding, I'm sorry. I I wish I knew how to configure that correctly.
Feel that. Welcome to all the raiders, and thank you for raiding him.
So we are we are casting T90 Community Cup games. We just saw game one. Too bad that you missed it. Was a nice all-in. You putting style strategy from the Fool against Lime. So T90 Community Cup is a community tournament open to all heroes. It started 3 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, about that now.
Yeah, and so it's divided in different brackets according to hero ranges. And we are looking at the Archers bracket, which is the second lowest bracket. We are in the low hero legend range, and yeah, we are going to head into game 2, right?
Yeah, we should be. Which is gonna be Reed Baz.
So maybe let's show the draft again.
I will say, for all my early game hype, I'm very impressed with how Fool managed this too. Like,
yeah,
that's a very
absolutely.
hard all-in. I just want to mention that before we pop
Absolutely.
off. It's very hard to manage an all-in like that sometimes, so
yeah,
I think it's very good.
But to your point, like if you defend against this all-in, even if you don't really defend but kind of stall it, you have a way of coming back into the game. Because when you're doing this all-in, especially at the lower elo, it's really hard to then switch back into, let's add more eco if I'm not killing my opponent right now. And yeah. But it is always funny to see a different approach to the strategy.
Yeah, I think the only thing to be improved here is just add Spearmen instead of Monks. That's the one thing I would say to that instead. Just be on Pikes instead.
Yeah, probably. Hello, Emu Warrior.
Oh, we have the Emu.
We have the Emu around.
How am I gonna lose brain cells today with Emu is the real question.
So yeah, we're gonna go into game 2. I guess it's gonna be African Reed Pets. And what do we expect as Sibs on this map?
Here's where I have to think it has to be Franks or Mongols for Lime. I think at this point we've burned... Like, we've lost with Khmer, which would be the only other Civ I could see as Reed Bass. Poles feel more suited for Outcrop with how defensive you can get with it, so we can really abuse farms there. So I feel like we have to play Franks or Mongols here.
I think we're gonna see Poles. It's a bit of a hunch because I know Lime from the Hidden Community Cup tournament. And so I had to play against him. I think it was the quarterfinals. No, I don't. I think it was the quarterfinals. Anyway, I had to look at his profile, and I saw Poles prominently on that profile. So that's why I expect Poles now. Because after losing such a game in such a way, I expect a comfort pick from him.
That's fair. I don't... If Poles is comfort pick, then yeah, I don't hate it. I just don't think it's suited to the map. And I think if we want to play Poles, I think Franks is the easier variation to play here on Reed Bass, and it suits it a bit more.
Yeah, I think Franks might actually in that sense it's a better option on this map. Yeah. And what about the Fool? What are we gonna see from the Fool on this map?
It has to be Saracens. It has to be.
Has to be Saracens. Yeah.
Like, I think Celts has to be... We plan to all in on something else with this, so either we're playing it on Outcrop or we plan to play it on Lagangati, and we ended up playing Romans instead. If it's Incas, I don't like that. Because if we wanted to play Eagles, I would have rather Mayans or Aztecs.
Yeah.
And Outcrop, like, I've played Meso Civs on Outcrop. I don't think they're bad for Outcrop. I just think compared to what we have here, I think Incas would be played for outcrop instead.
Yeah.
So Saracen feels like the only play. And again, like if it's Franks, Mongols, or Poles, the only exception to this being rough for Saracens is Mongols. So
Yeah.
I just think it's pretty easy to assume Saracens here.
So let's see if we see Poles against Saracens or Franks against Saracens. Let's load the game. So I'll pause at second 5.
I'm at 6, but I'm only a second ahead.
Yeah, okay. And let's switch into the game. And yeah, you can count down.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right, game 2 of Lime 86 versus the Fool SFC. Archers bracket of the T90 Community Cup. We see African reed beds, and in yellow we have Lime 86 as the Poles, as I predicted, a comfort pick. And in the south, in the blue, we have the Fool SFC, who went with Saracens, which you predicted.
Yeah, I'm happy you predicted right on Poles, but I'm a little sad I'm wrong.
Lime 86 says, you know me far too well. I do.
I do, this is a matchup that's rough. I think the time to shine for Poles is going to be early feudal, or late feudal even, all of feudal basically, and then mid to late castle when we get upgrades and we can start 1v1ing camels. But there are Saracen camels, which is that's the part where it starts to get a little spicy.
Yeah, that's the thing about this matchup. Like Poles, they have the cheaper cavalry. It's not particularly strong in terms of raw power, but they are very cheap. And against Saracens, it's just not gonna work.
We also only get Cavalier. We don't get Paladin as Poles.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think the comp here is, if we can get map control, if we're Lime, I think we have to go Expo and Knights. It's risky. And we do get Arb, I believe. Yeah, we get Arb. So outside of one armor upgrade, we're fully upgraded as Poles. So Cavalier plus Arb here could be the play late. And if we're Fool, I mean, you have to play camels here.
So what is
but
she
like
doing?
Camel HC, maybe.
She's watching the newly built lumber camp, admiring it. Okay. She found something else to do.
Sometimes you just have to acknowledge it. You just have to observe.
So early eco, I see Lime 5 on wood, 6 on wood now, 8 on food, whereas the Fool has only 3 on wood and 10 on food. So that would suggest a hybrid approach from Lime. However, I think we are late to a dock if you want to dock.
Yeah.
And more standard approach from the Fool. No, it's the other. Yeah, no, it's correct.
I feel like too with Fool here specifically, it feels like we're trying to get a faster uptime on purpose by abusing the food we have. But if we wanted to do that, we'd be pushing, or one, we wouldn't house our own berries. I just realized that this house is driving me insane. From Fool, sorry, not Lime.
Fool on the berries.
Yeah, the house is on the berries.
Yeah, leaving the berries.
But like we'd also be on the center getting fish there to force this uptime.
A thing that should be noted on this map, like even if you don't really want to have a dock, you have the option of placing a mill on these fish.
And it works out really well because it's close enough and they'll gather the deep fish pretty fast. So you don't necessarily have to.
Well, this is not just starting. Ah, that's the mill. That's not the house. But that's a tile away, right?
No, it's right on it, I think. If it's the starting one, then I don't. Yeah, like I don't. It just sucks. You put it down and you're like, crap.
Yeah. Sometimes
I
it
don't
happens.
like this first full work from Lime. I despise this full work so
There's
much.
not enough space to fit the farm on the south side.
It just also I want it on the berries. It's so inefficient. It hurts.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah,
also
it's inefficient for
borrow-
the berries, and you're missing 2 farms on it because the DC is in there. That's just
I will say though, I'm happy to see that we're up as the fool right away. But what are we gonna do with this uptime? We don't have a barracks yet, and we don't have the food to go 2 or 3 scouts.
We don't even know where the opponent is. We have stopped scouting.
We're also housed again.
That's fine if it's a 20 pop build,
Yeah.
but you need to build the house. And we're building a mining camp, but not the house. As the game before. I mean, the game before we did not create villagers in feudal age, but still.
It feels like we're playing an all-in again, or we're going archers. But again, we don't have. Like we don't have the barracks. Is the problem. And if we're playing against Poles, I feel like we absolutely need the barracks. We should just assume that it's coming. Like assume scouts are coming.
We're adding a forward for the deer. I don't mind that.
I don't either. And it's open space too, so
Yeah.
the second we
Well,
finish here, that's fine.
Well, there's some trees that interfere with one of the farms here, but you can chop down the trees.
Yeah. And we're going fast castle again as Saracens. Okay. I don't hate this.
That's a bit risky though.
Yeah, I agree. Like I don't hate it, but it's very risky.
It's very open against the civ
what are
that might go scouts, and yeah.
Yeah, and here's the thing too, we're Saracens. What are we gonna do with a fast castle? Realistically, we're not doing much with it.
Yeah. I mean, you could build a castle and say go Mamluk, but the Mamluk is very intensive in terms of food and gold. So you need an eco for that.
And we're idling our eco again here to guarantee a fast castle time. But we built the market and we're Saracens, and the 1 eco bonus we have, we're not abusing already.
Yeah.
Now
well,
we're using it.
yeah, we did sell wood and stone for
For
I
this
guess
uptime.
food. Yeah.
So now, now I want to know what we're doing with this, right? We have no stone. We're mining stone to make up for it. We don't have a food eco. So what's the what are we gonna 2 TC boom with nothing? Like I don't know. I guess I'm more confused because it's Saracens.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I just that's the part that's confusing.
I mean, that's again a kind of phosphor build, kind of, but
yeah.
It's not the right civ.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't think that... Like, we had a crazy good uptime. Like, I will say that right now. I think our feudal time here, as Saracens, is crazy good. But on that way up, we should have built that barracks. And then instead of the market blacksmith, we can go stable, market, and then we can stabilize our eco to get very fast scouts. We're on 2 or 3 scouts, a full 2 minutes ahead of our opponent. And then we just raid the fullworks, and we stop the eco bonus from polls happening. Because these fullworks get so exposed, right? Like, the first one obviously isn't. But the second one is so out in the open, we kill all that.
Oh, we did
and we cripple our opponent's eco.
We did fit the farms. Oh, interesting. Capture shows 1 tile more around the fullwork.
Interesting.
Huh. So, I apologize, Lime. It's decent forward. No, it's not decent because it's not on the berries, but
It's still out there, yeah.
yeah.
And we also didn't finish the berries, which bothers me even more.
Yeah, true.
But now this uptime too, like we need to... We got this uptime as poles, and we didn't stable, and we're not on gold. So now, like, I hate the line position as well, because we're just mining stone.
Yeah, we're mining stone.
We're not
Well, the poles do get some gold out of stone, but still.
Yeah, but like my point is, like we didn't build a blacksmith, or not a blacksmith, a stable.
We're building a market. Yeah, that was a bit too many villagers.
Yeah. And now we're
a blacksmith.
Okay. I mean, if the plan here is to go castle drop, then sure. But we made our eco setup for scouts.
Yeah, that's true.
And now we're making knights as Saracens very late.
Knights and Saracens.
So I don't hate knights. I've played Saracens enough to say I don't hate knights. Here's my problem with this. This is so late. We do not have the eco for knights.
Absolutely not. We have
yeah.
We have 6 farms. Yeah, 6 farms. That's enough for villagers, not for knights.
I think the problem is we're so focused on getting to castle faster than our opponent that we get there and then we don't know what to do with it.
Yep.
It's the old Malay statement of, or Mongol statement of, oh look boys, we're in feudal at 6 minutes.
Yep.
What do I do with it?
That was like actually the first set that I did in the Hidden Community Cup against Bishop, who I met again in the final. In the first set, like game 3, he had Mongols and I went to Castle Age like in 13 minutes and something. I was starting to get worried. I was like, oh shit, I'm so far from Castle Age. But truth is, he did nothing with that timing, and I ended up winning the game very comfortably, despite being, I don't know, 7 minutes later up in Castle Age or something. So if you go up early but don't do anything with it, it's not very useful.
It doesn't value you anything.
No.
And I think the problem too is like I really liked the feudal time. Like I cannot stress how much I loved that feudal time. And I really just want to see us like to get to scouts before the pole eco gets caught up. And then if our opponent goes scouts, we have the perfect counter unit.
We get a villager kill with the knights.
It's good.
Yeah. But now Lime is also up to Castle Age.
And we have enough for a castle, which we're dropping. I hate castles.
Yeah, I hate it as well.
But now these knights are getting value. This is what I meant earlier. Look at how easy this is to raid with these knights on Fullworks.
Yeah.
Imagine if we did this before the eco gets started.
Yeah. Actually, I would have
3 or 4.
liked to see some palisade walls earlier from Lime, especially knowing that you're gonna farm like that out on the open. At least wall.
I agree. I also so much despise this castle.
Yeah.
We also built it with our entire eco.
Yeah.
If we're going
And
Obo,
we adding a TC.
I like the TC. The TC's fine.
Yeah. TC is fine.
But now I want to know what the castles were. Okay, we're going Obuk. I don't hate Obuk here. It's actually really good against Camel. And our opponent's also on Knights, which is also pretty decent against, all things considered.
Yeah.
I have fought this unit more times than I'm willing to admit, and I have lost with Knights also more times than I'm willing to admit. Okay. This castle from Fool is so ballsy.
It is. Oh, wow.
Though, I like this play, though.
It will go up.
This is a very ballsy castle.
It will go up.
If it goes up, yeah.
I don't see an army to stop it.
I love this place so much.
And these farms have been abandoned. Okay, we're coming back to them.
The TC.
It will range the TC if we get fletching, I think. Yeah, or it might still range it. I don't know.
Even then, I think it also secures cutting off half his eco.
Well, with the forework in the back, you're not denying as much eco as you would like. But still, it's a castle in the face.
I think the problem I have, though, is we've let Pole eco get a bit out of hand.
Yeah. And
we've
also,
let a
5 villagers is not an appropriate amount for a forward castle.
Yeah, we need to send like 10.
Yeah, 10 is the minimum for such a castle. We are lucky that we basically have army and the opponent does not. That's the only reason this castle goes up.
I think the real problem problem with this matchup now, though, is you can't make Mameluke into Obuk. It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
They're a knight counter, and they're just gonna die faster to Obuk than you can realize.
They have decent piercing armor. Not that it matters because the Mameluke does melee damage anyway, but still.
Yeah.
So the castle does range at DC, but we also did get fletching.
We did, yeah. I'd really like to see us add an archery range as the fool. Like, we're Saracens, our archers are pretty scary, all things considered. We can sit them near fullworks and they'll kill the
So we got a relic.
the Vils, and all of our opponents everything is infantry. Did we get a relic?
So right now we got to the point where the eco is kind of okay. A bit, maybe not enough on gold for Knights production,
I agree.
but it is okay. The thing is, now it's 25 minutes. You could have had this eco at 20 minutes in Castle Age.
Okay.
And 2 stable Knights producing continuously.
And we could have been very ahead too.
Yeah.
Like, if we stalled our feudal, just got in the stables, like I had mentioned, this eco would have been, as Bergwin said 6 minutes ago, and we would have came into it with a bunch of scouts on the field.
Mm-hmm. So by going that fast castle, that it gained us nothing.
Like,
it
we
set
kind
us
of
back.
hurt ourselves more. Yeah. Like, we're ahead 5 Vils, but 3 of that is the fact that we have Eco KD. And our opponent can't produce out of one of the TCs that he has, because our castle will kill the Vil that comes out of it.
Yeah.
We are getting to a pretty critical Knight Mass, though. I know they don't get Cavalry even, but
Yeah.
Knights are still Knights. Until you hit Imp and your opponent's an Imp, this is a deadly mass.
Absolutely.
The real problem is the Obuk. This is why I want to
Now we
see
have
archers.
Mamelukes. But Mamelukes, well, if they stay under the castle, it's fine.
Yeah.
The Spearmen will die to
They're so
to a soft
micro-intensive,
breeze.
though, to kill Spearmen.
But still, the Spearmen got some hits on one Mameluke, and from 100 health, it's down to 40. So, yeah.
But this is what I mean. Like, I'd rather archers over Mamelukes here.
Yeah.
Especially for the Obuk.
And
Look at how
let's see.
fast this melts.
The thing is also like the cost effectiveness. The Yobok is much cheaper than a Mameluke
I agree.
or a Knight. So another
think
castle
big
from
advantage-
Lime.
I don't think this castle's needed. At least where it is, right? Our opponent already can't engage here because of our Obuk
Yeah,
and the TC.
yeah.
And the castle's not going to range your other TC. I don't like it. It's very unnecessary. What our opponent has right now that we don't have is, in a sense, map control.
Mm-hmm.
We can be anywhere on the map as the Fool right now and be gathering gold, which is why I keep mentioning Crossbow. We can be on Crossbow Knight or Crossbow Mameluke right now, and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because we have complete and utter map control. Our opponent is stuck here. And if we abuse market, we can be up to Imp, and this castle goes down to the first Treb that comes down. Because we can't stop the Treb from killing us either.
So the Knights are trying to destroy the fully built house instead of attacking the house that is half built, not even half.
Or just walking around.
Or walk around, yes. Here
Yeah.
is a
They're gonna
nice
still get
hole.
in.
Yeah, they're still gonna get in.
We'll kill the Vil too. I just want to see them hit the full work.
Another full work is added with farms around, and one T90 farm. What is this? What is this?
God, live! That farm!
But the
we
Obuk
need to
has
run away.
come. Yeah, we need to run.
I think the advantage we have here too is our opponent's army is very immobile. Our entire army as Saracens is very fast. We
Yeah.
could raid our entire opponent without them ever being able to respond.
We can focus somewhere else, control the whole map, expand our eco. We have a second TC now. I'd like to see someone go for the side goals, honestly, because on this map is so important.
We need to be up to imp. There it is, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But the point is, you can expand the eco, you can control the map, mass some army, and then go to imp and push.
Yep.
And they're going to almost
Roughly
at the
the
same
same
time. Yeah, roughly the same time. But Lime is a bit further ahead. And with 2 castles, that means if he queues trebuchets immediately, he can trap down that forward castle. And then, well, it's a bit... let's say that the fool is a bit open, undefended. Yeah, the Mamelukes are getting shredded. Move! No! No!
This hurts so much.
They didn't even kill the house.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah. What was that? What was that about?
I just like that we haven't rated our opponent as much.
Why did you hate this house?
This
And why
one
did you
house-
not attack the villagers that were here?
Agreed.
Like, you walked all the way here to attack the house. You could have gone here, attacked the villagers. You could have stayed here and attacked those villagers on gold. And then gone to the wood line. Lime would be in a panic right now if you had done that.
I think the thing that sucks is we haven't used our mobility.
Yeah.
Like, and then losing all those Mamelukes, I think without a shadow of a doubt, losing that Mameluke mass is what has actually given our opponent even more of a chance.
So the fool
Like,
is
excuse me.
saying, I didn't know the gold was there. First of all, you did scout it. Second, that's not an excuse. It means you need to scout your opponent. You have the mobility. You can go around. Just send 1 unit. Send 1 Mameluke to go around and scout.
Or you can auto scout with your start one, or preload the map. Right? Like even just scouting the map makes a difference. On any map that you don't know, that matters.
Yeah.
And this castle should go down.
Yeah, I expect it
Like,
to
unless
go
we pull
down.
these mills to repair, that shouldn't.
Yeah.
And because we've lost our Mameluke mass, we can't just dive the first trap that came out with our knights.
No. Mamelukes are very good at killing siege.
So now I think the thing we need to do is not convert. I think we just need to move the Mamelukes around the Obuk and kill the trebs.
Look, Saracen Obuk.
It's dead already though.
Yeah. So sad. So the trap is down. I don't think we need to dive the castle with the Obuk, honestly. It's not necessary.
Yeah.
But
This castle's already dead, but
yeah. I guess it's working. We killed a bunch of villages as well.
yeah.
So I can't be too critical.
I think the problem though is we lose a few Obuk. That's like the only issue I have with it.
Especially now that basically we need castles for trap production. But it's good that we have 3 of them. Sorry, they are here. 1, 2, 3. But now, move forward. You know the army that your opponent has. Move forward. Take the traps, take the Obuk, move. You know that your opponent has 6 Mamelukes, and that's all. You killed everything else.
Yeah.
So don't let your opponent get back into the game, build this castle. No. The traps should already be here, trapping down this castle and this TC, and then the other one as well. Don't even have to move.
And I think the best part too is we haven't even had to go on cav yet as pulse.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't seen archers come out from our opponents, so there's no reason for us to be on.
Yeah. Although
Cavalier
the
yet.
opponent is researching ballistics.
Why?
Why?
Like, for what? It doesn't affect Mamelukes. If we think it
Yeah.
affects Mamelukes, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, I assume that's why.
Yeah,
he
I
thinks it
assume it
affects
as well, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's very questionable.
I think this siege workshop is too little too late. Even if you get a mango or a scorpion out of here, those Obuk are gonna shred it. They're just fast enough to stop it.
What I'm liking in this game is that we are not floating too many resources. Lime is floating food, but
Yeah.
it's not too bad in general. Yeah, I mean, with that food, you should definitely think about Hussar or maybe not. Yeah, you don't have a lot of gold. It's something you should fix.
But even then, like Lycav,
but Lycav, yeah, would be great.
Yeah, all we need is 2 stables, just flooding like 6 or 7 Lycav into our opponent's base, while we Obok push, and their ego's dead.
So
like,
have we scouted? So Lime scouted the whole map. So I guess that's auto scout, which is great. So you know that there's gold here and here. Now
what we need to do is hunt around for our opponent, see if they're on the sides.
The fool knows that about one side, doesn't know about the other, but can be assumed.
These Obok can die this TC. This TC's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you don't even care. You have full infantry armor. Make the TC go away.
So this is 5+1. They have 6 armor, so they do 1 damage. The TC, each arrow does 1 damage. The castle, you do care a bit more.
Yeah, we should care a bit more about that.
Yeah.
But now we have to evacuate our eco. We'll kill this castle, but what is it gonna earn us?
What? Elite Mameluke. For the 6 Mamelukes that we have?
That's such all that res that got spent on this could be spent on the counter unit we need in terms of Arbalister.
So we're pushing the castle, which in general would be okay, I guess. It is a thing to counter attack if you're being attacked.
But we're gonna lose our everything.
Yeah, we are gonna lose our everything. That's the problem. Like this TC is going down, and then we have no TC, and we're gonna lose everything before we can trap down the other castle. And there's enough Obuk here that this can be stopped.
And this one Scorpion is not making a difference. Like this Scorpion counter is too little too late.
Yeah, definitely. But I don't know why we are not using our traps to take down TCs and castles.
Yeah, we're killing a house and a blacksmith. I just really hate that we're on Mameluke and we got a lead when we have no castles now.
Yeah.
I really just wish we would have went on Arbalister.
What is this? What is this? You're taking farm space away. What for?
I mean, he's winning. So
yeah. So whatever.
It doesn't really matter.
If you're winning, you can do whatever.
Just ask Doubt. You can kill your own army and it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh, so we see the fool going for the side gold. A lion that has an argument with the villagers. The Hobok are following the GG's gold. And GG.
I think this is a game of... So we saw this in the first set we cast, right? Every castle gets placed because we want to be on the unique unit.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. I don't mind that we want to be an Obok. I think Obok here is fine. It's like... You can't go on scouts or knights because everything that we want to do there, Saracens have a counter for. If they go Arbalister, well then we have to be on knights. And then we have to stop, we have to get map control. But if we want to get Obok, and we want to have castles for it, have your castles earn you something. The first castle you placed earns you a gold that you didn't take. You didn't even take the gold that you placed it on. And it didn't stop your opponent from placing his forward castle. The second castle you placed was on your old TC. And again, didn't earn you anything. It held the position though, which is the one exception to that. That's the it depends part of the statement. And this third castle is just, I needed production, slap castle.
Mm-mm.
And I hate that so much.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to build castles, if you want them for unique units, that's fine. Just make sure your castles earn you something.
Yeah.
They're the best defensive structure in the game. So when you put them down, they need to earn you an eco. And that's something I can't stress so much, right?
Yeah.
Like, I play Mongols a lot, so, like, I'm speaking from some level of experience with that. I've also placed some very questionable spiral center gold castles. So I think I have the experience there. You know? But, like, the other half of it, too, as like in Fool's case, why are we not tech switching? We are so determined to be on Mameluke that we, with 6 Mamelukes on the field, researched elite Mameluke and then immediately lost the castle it was researched in.
Yeah.
And at 35 or 40 minutes, we put a siege workshop down for 2 scorpions that did next to nothing because our opponent had 30 Obuk on the field at that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you see Obuk, just like your Saracens, just go Arbalester.
Yeah.
Or don't go Mameluke. They're so micro intensive for that engagement, and they're not a direct counter. If they were Knights, then I don't care. Like if he was on Knights, then I don't care because you don't need to micro them as much to really maximize. But against like a Pikeman or Obuk, you have to min-max that micro so hard, and it's harder to micro them than Arbalester, and Arbalester will just shred faster.
Yeah.
So it's just a questionable choice, and if you're gonna do siege defensive, do it when you see them coming out. Don't wait until they're at your base.
Absolutely, and and back to what we said earlier on, like that fast castle approach, they didn't gain anything.
Yeah.
Going a standard approach to play this game would have put you in a better position earlier. You would have been able to sustain a 2 stable knights production or camels or whatever you wanted to do. And you could have been able to apply a lot more pressure earlier on and not allow the pole player to develop the economy, which, by the way, ironically, the Fool has more villagers than Lime. I hate this idle TC time.
I agree.
It's on 1 TC for the Lime.
We were on 2 TCs as Fool, and we had decent idle time, too. Like, I think the thing here is... I said it very early. We're so determined to do fast castles, but we don't do anything with it. And that's the real problem. We're selling stone, we're crippling our ego, we're idling our TC on 20 pop to force a fast castle. If you're gonna fast castle, it has to get you something.
Yeah.
And especially in this game where in this map specifically at least, where map control matters, and in this matchup even more so, where stopping pole eco from getting rolling, you have to kill it fast. And you had the capacity to 2 stable scout if you just had set up your eco for food a little bit more efficiently.
Absolutely. And the difference between the first game and this one is that in the first game, the fast castle was a risky, all-in, whatever, idle the TC and so on. But as soon as Castle Age hit, you had the plan. You had the siege workshop, you had the monastery, and you started producing scorpions, and that won you the game. This time, you hit Castle Age and like, oh, let's add eco now. And yeah, that's why basically you lost. I mean, you still had a chance because you had a lot of knights and Mamelukes here sitting around, whereas they could have been raiding all around, and that would have probably been a winning thing. You just needed an answer to the Obuk, and yeah, at that point you could have won. But yeah,
I agree. And the thing too is, especially in Castle, when you had mass before Obuk became a bit out of control, you were killing houses. I know I said earlier, if you have army and you're just attack stuff. But there is also a point of why are we just attacking a house?
Yeah.
You know, instead of like, we see a full work, let's attack it. Right? Like it's just the game awareness of being aware of what you're doing with your army, making it do stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like Full saying like it's a new style to him, and I don't like. Even then, right? Like I think there's nothing wrong with playing something new, but you can at any point in the game just like hover your mouse over your civ icon and kind of at a glance see what you have.
Yeah.
So like there's, in my opinion, like I think that there's that, but even if you think the tech switch is going to be awful, right? Like let's say you're playing melee and you make knight tech switch, it's going to be awful, but I'd rather see you make that switch into, in this case, Arbalester, and not know if it's good or not, to counter the one unit you see, which is Obuk.
Yeah.
And if our opponent goes a counter unit for that, cool, now we're doing the Saracen game plan of camels.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's just that, right? Like, always be willing to take a risk, because in this game, every little advantage matters. And we let our opponent get to the massive Obuks that we needed to.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And we let eco even get out of hand. Like, two very big things were like, as I'm sitting here saying, like, I hate all these castles that Lime put down, minus the second one. But realistically, it didn't matter how bad they were, because he already had Obuk Mass and he just had to keep it going.
Yeah.
And you couldn't really do anything about it because you got so fast to castle that then you also couldn't have an eco balance. It took you until 25 minutes, 26 minutes into the game to get your eco rolling. And then by the time you got to Imp, you couldn't get any of the upgrades you wanted to keep yourself going. And it all stems back to how you approached your Dark to Feudal Age.
We also chose the wrong upgrade in Imp, like we upgraded to Elite Mameluke when we had 6. And basically no castle to build them. So it's a good point to like really reflect, am I still committed to the Mameluke, or should I do actually something else here? And especially since you saw only Obuks, you're like, okay, what could be a counter to Obuks? And one way to know it, if you don't know, just click on one unit, you look at the armor, and you try to figure out which is the weaker armor, and that gives you a first hint. With the Obuk, I will admit it is kind of hard because it's basically almost the same melee and pierce. Yeah, but in general, it's a good way of knowing when you don't know. And as a rule of thumb, generally infantry is counted by archers, with some exceptions, but generally that's a good.
And the hardest part about using an infantry unique unit too is it's very immobile. It needs castles. So when you have a very mobile army, forcing them to move around to you is the advantage. I think I said it when you were in castle and you were attacking houses. Like, just move your Mamelukes to one area, your knights to one. He has to choose one area to go to fight because his army is that slow. And the whole time he's doing that, you're killing vills.
Yeah.
So just like you did in your first game, I wouldn't care if your eco is bad if you're committing to an all-in where you're getting value. So in game 1, where your eco was kind of rough and all over the place, you got something out of it. So
no, not here. It was here where we lost all the all these Mamelukes here. They destroyed this house. Then they come here and they want to destroy this house. The Obuk are moving. They could go here, kill the farmers. You see the Obuks coming. Okay, let's move somewhere else. Let's go, I don't know, to the wood line here. Let's kill some villagers here. Then the Obuks come and you jump around to the other side. Okay, here there's a castle. Maybe you do the whole loop again and you come back to the farms, or maybe you stay here and try to deny the gold here and be annoying like that. Your opponent will chase you around a lot, and you have time to come up with your next move.
And I think we're being very critical on this game because I don't think this game is... Personally, I don't think this is a matchup loss. I think this just comes down to the technical spot of it. I 100% think it's just... because as Saracens, you have every counter you need to Poles. As Poles, you have all the counters you need to Saracens. So this is very much a immovable object versus unstoppable force on a map where map control matters, gold control matters, you can do crazy things.
Yeah.
And after seeing how you both played in game 1, I very much think both of you are capable. You just have to refine those little things.
Yeah.
And we say it all the time, especially myself, I come off sometimes a little critical, but again, I want everybody to improve as much as I want to improve. So, grain of salt some of it, I'm not meaning to be offensive kind of deal.
Yeah. Maybe a couple of things, the last two things I will say about Lime. You need to control gold. You had this gold, and that's the only gold that you use the whole game. You had this other gold that you kind of lamed yourself because it's it's in the wall. It's part of your wall. It's blocked by the castle on the back. You can't mine this gold. But anyway, it's not a lot of gold. On this map, the gold is here and here. You didn't know about it because you scouted. You used the auto scout, I think, to scout the whole map. And that's great. So you know where the gold is. So you're in this situation, you see, okay, this is starting to be very inefficient. There's very little gold left here. I have to start to think, where do I get my next gold? And sure, one option is here, but you're like, okay, there's a castle here, there's some army here. Maybe it's not the safest spot. You could think, okay, let's try to expand this way. So let's use maybe my obok to escort my villagers, or scout it first, possibly, to check that there's no castle or whatever on this thing. Build your own castle here, mining camp, and then you have all the gold you need.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I think too, in reference to the castle and what Bergwin's saying, that first castle on the right secured gold that doesn't matter. If we just for a moment, like, we what if it's on that left side gold, then you can put 2 stables there, and you have a whole base that is secure. You have, 14 tiles of gold. You have a free relic. You can put 2 stables and just stream a few scouts into your opponent's eco while you're massing obok to fight the counter push.
Yeah.
And it's being annoying, and you're ruining your opponent's eco while getting pressure.
Yeah.
Again, though, this game is complicated. There's so much that's happening.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Some of it can be.
So yeah, we have another game.
Yeah.
Game 3.
I see Celts on the list, by the way. And after game 1, I'm excited.
So let's take a look at the drafts again while I extract the game. Where is it? So what do you think we will see on the last map, which is Outcrop? What will we see on Outcrop?
Khmer Poles. And we've seen Roman Saracens. So both first picks were full. And then second and third. I really want to see Mongols here on Outcrop, because we can get some pretty good, like, if we don't go Scouts Feudal, we can go a walled faster castle, or a fast castle, sorry. Go steps. We could also do the same with Franks and just go knights, which I'd like as much. And this map's very wallable. I have tried feudal aggression on this map. I don't think it's impossible, I just don't think it's favorable. If we go Incas, what are we, like... I don't think Incas is a play here. If we're going Incas, we have to go castle, go Kamyuk. But again, then we fall into the crutch of we're immobile.
Yeah.
So it'd have to be like Kamyuk Eagle.
I mean, feudal aggression maybe with archers could work, but you need to be fast enough that you arrive before the opponent is fully walled, I think.
I agree.
And it is difficult to do.
I think when we have Celts and Incas, I think the only feasible way here is to play one of them into to be fair, into a fast castle. And if you're Incas, you have to immediately drop a castle, go Kamyuk Eagle. Or if you're Celts, you do the Huang strat, and you have to YOLO a few mangoes with pikes. And our opponent only has cav civs, so both of our civs are very good counters. I think the one exception to that is Mongols. So I think you have to play Celts here. Like, you can't play Incas, in my opinion. Because if your opponent is Mongols and they decide to go CA, then you have Scorpions that are already deadly. So you can counter CA before they get massed, same with Mangadai. And you can still commit to an all-in. And if they play Franks, well, you have pikes, and as long as you kill them before they hit Imp, you can win that matchup pretty easily.
Yeah, but in Imp, against Franks, you lose 100% as Celts.
Oh, yeah. If you're Celts into Franks Imp, I think
there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, I think you're 100% dead there.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. Yeah, to clarify, when you're talking about fast castle here, you're talking about a proper fast castle, a 24+2 or a 27+2. Something like that, not the 20 and idle TC and you pudding style or phosphorus style.
Yeah, agreed.
So a fast castle with eco. Yeah, I think I agree with your evaluations in general. Yeah, I wouldn't mind though the Eagle Scout, the Eagle Warriors. play.
If it's Incas, it has to be Eagle's cameo, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Or if we don't drop the castle right away, it has to be Eagle Spear, and then get yourself a forward castle for cameos.
But let's see. So let's start the game.
Just
5
loading
seconds.
now. Oh boy, I just loaded and I saw the matchup. I'm at 5, by the way.
Okay, so let's switch to the game. Welcome to game number 3 between Lime and the Fool SFC. This is gonna be the decider for the set. We are in the Archers bracket and around 800 elo. And yeah, let's see. We have Lime in yellow on the bottom with the Franks, and we have the Fool with in blue with the Celts. Yeah, let's. You wanna count down?
Yeah, sorry, my timer is all messed up because I thought you already started.
Oh, where are you?
No, you're good. It's 6 seconds.
Oh, okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Good.
Sorry about that.
So, what do we think about this matchup? We talked about the fact that Celts don't have an answer to Franks after Imperial, but before they have options.
Yeah, so this falls into that matchup we mentioned of I think the only option for full here was Celts. Like, at least feasibly. Like, I think Incas is viable, but it's a risk, right? Because both the civs that your opponent has are going to make Incas a very hard matchup. Celts, it's at least viable because pre-Imp, you have the solution pikes.
Yeah.
And you can kind of go all in. And then if you have Mongols, you have the counter. But in this matchup where it's Franks, you have to go for an all-in. You have to do what you did game 1, and you absolutely have to go forward.
Yeah.
Kid.
A fast castle, like I would say 24 plus 2. You could get away with 22 plus 2, to be honest.
Okay.
And just go FC, go Pike, go Siege, and melt your opponent's ego. And you have to be walled at home too. You have a very wallable base on Outcrop. Just wall yourself in very good.
Yeah.
And you're set.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the fast castle for the Celts with the siege push with pike siege, could be really hard to deal with.
I also see that we're already on berries as
the Franks, yeah. We're using the bonus. But
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I don't hate this. I would say this is not needed though here.
Yeah, we are getting more efficient berries, but the cost of less efficient wood because we don't have the wood for a lumber camp now.
Yeah, I just don't think it's needed. I would still prefer the early lumber camp before.
Yeah. Also because honestly, I'm not sure if the sheep is more efficient than French berries.
Yeah, I think the other problem too is we're taking 2 separate sheep with 2-in-1 bills.
Yeah.
Like, to stop decay, you need 6 on it.
Yeah, that's
Franks if you're Britain.
That's a bit of an optimization, but it is a fair point. What I like to do is to have the first 6 villagers that are gonna be on sheep. I place them in the same control group, so that I can use the control group to shift queue them to the next sheep. Of course, I forget all the time to do it, but that's my approach.
Yeah, I feel that too. We're also overcommitting to it, and we're still taking separate sheep here. I also despise this lumber camp with the most passion I can possibly hate it.
Yeah, that's...
It's
laming the goal, it's inefficient because you have to walk around it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Just, if it was on the backwood line and the little L there, you're fine.
Yeah.
I also dislike how we're walling. Like, this is... I'm getting very nitpicky because we're in Dark Age. Why are we housing as Fool this way? If we move these 2 houses 4 tiles over, we secure 3 wood lines. All we need to do is put it between these 2.
Here.
So
And
I just despise that a bit because it's so unnecessarily inefficient.
Yeah.
For that.
so
But
one thing that I learned that has been a life changer for me, it's a small thing, maybe even stupid, but it's actually I used to wall like the front of the wood line, and instead what you should try to do is wall as far back as you can, because if you wall to the front, basically you will overchop quickly and you will have a hole in your walls. If you wall the back, you have more space and you're not gonna overchop as quickly.
And we're also, this goes for both of you, right? Just if I look at Lime's eco, we have 9 on berries that we built on a mill very early, and we haven't taken our second boar.
Yeah.
And we have 5 vills, sorry, on 3 separate sheep. If I come now look in Fool's eco, we have 15 vills on 2 sheep, but we haven't taken our berries, and we're not pushing hunt.
Yeah.
Just, you have to diversify your eco in the early game.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you don't have the capacity to build farms and stuff.
You also have the problem now as the fool that you don't have your second building to go up to feudal age. And you have 20 pop, you might want to go up, but you don't have the building. So what you have to do is now build more villagers, and usually what happens to me is that I didn't plan for that. I don't have the house, so I'm housed, so I'm now idling the TC. Not the case here for the fool, but yeah.
And now we're like, yeah, we're rushing it down.
Yeah.
And now if we look too, this is the other thing that's going to kill Lime, is now we're out of berries on our way up. So now, what are we going to do with our eco? All this is about to be idle. We have 17 vills on food that are about to be idle. And we can't queue vills because we also want scouts. Oh, we didn't even take our first boar as Lime. Never mind.
Wait. So the fool said he lost a vill to the boar and killed the boar with the TC. I wanna have a look. Oh yeah, here. Okay, so we're going out to take the second boar with the villager that is half health already, without loom. That's gonna be ooh.
Oh, that's bad.
And the boar is dead. Ooh, okay.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. Yeah.
Press F for respect.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. So yeah, we have the. Is that the first boar for Lime? Yeah, that's the first boar for Lime. We have the second boar here. We haven't taken the hunt. The hunt. I get it. The hunt is a bit trickier on this map. This is a good map, I will say, to practice deer pushing, because the deer is so close to the TC. So if you ever want to practice that, this kind of map is great. You only have 3, very close to the TC, easier to manage. But I get it. At this elo is not, maybe not even advisable to push the deer.
But even then, just mill it. Right?
Yeah.
Like, the thing that we're running into is now we're gonna, like, both of us, like both Lime and Fool, are gonna be so dependent on getting farms down that our eco is not prepared to handle.
Yeah.
And neither of us has the eco we want. So, like, as Fool, right? Like, we're gonna get a blacksmith and a stable, but we shouldn't be getting the stable right away. But now our eco is such a wreck, and we have to place farms down that we don't have because we need to be on scouts.
Yeah. And we're building
So,
the
like,
blacksmith first before the stable.
And we're not even queuing bills.
Yeah.
And then if we're Fool, we're gonna be fast castling here again. But guess what? We don't have farms. We can't get, like, to make the fast castles truly efficient, we have to stall horse collar.
Yeah,
and we're gonna have to buy food because our economy is so
we don't have the food for the fast castle.
Yeah. Because we burned through all our early stuff.
We went up too early for a fast castle.
I agree.
We needed more villagers, but we needed to handle our Dark Age eco better. And that's the point in time that you have to focus on right now if you really want to improve. Work on your Dark Age. Your Dark Age has to be much smoother than this, and everything else will follow. After Dark Age comes Feudal Age. Improve Feudal Age, and it's the point where I'm at. I need to improve the Feudal Age and be smoother into the transition to Castle Age and whatever. But first is Dark Age. Dark Age sets up the rest of the game, and if you don't do well there, then you start having problems later on. You start having you're sitting I don't know, 6 farms at the same time, 7 farms at the same time, and that's just not right. That's not efficient.
And that's the thing we're running into, is both of our Dark Ages are just very rough.
Yeah.
And here's the thing too, as Slime, we're now having scouts come out, as we're also planning farms. If you still have your starting scout alive, something I really recommend, the second scout comes out, just send them both forward. You can pick one vill as long as there's no spearmen, you can run around and be annoying with it. I do appreciate this. We're going forward now with the 3 vills with 50 seconds left to castle. Here's the problem. Where's our barracks for pikemen? We're into Franks. Like, this has to be a consideration, and we're gonna get it scouted. And we're gonna lose a vill to a bear? Oh, and 4 scouts. Never mind.
Oh, those villagers might all die.
Yeah. I think I might be a little ahead of you.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Ah, that bear was angry.
So now we're up, and we've lost our advantage.
Yeah.
And now here we are at home.
And we have 0 on food. Oh, that's...
And we're scrambling down the barracks with 9 vills.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's that full. Like, even if he thinks that's happening, like, if he thinks you're gonna cheese it, why are we not sending forward spearmen into Franks with that?
Also,
the mistake isn't, oh, he knows it's coming. The mistake is, we didn't build a single spearman into the Franks, who are a cav civ that want to go scouts, and then we sent 3 vills forward and went, this is fine without a single spearman. We didn't even have the barracks yet. I think that's the real problem there. I don't think the problem is that he knew.
Yeah, also honestly, like, this attack at 17 minutes, it is kind of late. Like, if you go higher elo, that's gonna be late for an attack. You're gonna have scouts at 12, 13, 14 minutes.
Yeah. I think the other problem here, now that I'm seeing what we're making, why are we making scorpions? It's Franks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So not only were we late to pikemen, we're making the wrong siege unit. And we're deleting a house to get them out. Oh, it hurts.
I'm pretty sure, is it not open here?
No.
I'm pretty sure it is. Well, not anymore.
What time are you at?
1940.
Okay, I'm 5 seconds ahead of you. I'll just pause mine real quick so I can... Right,
I'm at 20.
Okay, I'm at 22. Yeah, we're good. I just had to pause it for a sec to sync it. But now that we're forward with the pikes, now we're building a forward siege, but we don't have the wood for it. Oh, we're building a lumber camp.
We're building a lumber camp, yeah.
Yeah, why are we doing that? A lot of very questionable choices here, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
My first one is why, like, I love scorpions.
Why is the scorpion first? The pikemen need to be in front, and you do need some armor upgrade, I would say. But you also need more than 4. 4 is... It's not gonna be enough. Like, honestly, Lime should just take the fight.
Lime can take this fight on all the siege and it goes away, yeah.
You should take the fight with the pike first, and then you kill all the siege, and then you kill all the villagers. I mean, he's using the mobility, which is not bad, but I think we gave the pikemen too many free attacks. 4 knights will definitely kill 4 pikemen with no armor upgrades.
Agreed. I think though too we value train, right? We've lost 5 scorpions to 4 knights. We're gonna make a battering ram. Why are we making a battering ram? We see knights again.
From home, the battering ram it's gonna arrive in Imperial Age at the other base.
There's just a lot of very questionable choices here where I'm like, I like what you're trying to do, but okay. Lime, what is this TC on the left? The second TC.
Yeah, what?
What's happening here?
You take this and you move it here. And
Moving
you have
just between all 3 of those wood lines, instantly a better TC.
Or down in the outcrop where you have the gold and the stone.
Yep.
Because
the overchop.
That's an important part.
Oh.
Ooh.
There was an overchop on that wood line with those houses we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And we've lost 3, 4, 5, 6 fills to 4 knights. These 4 knights have 15 kills. That's insane.
Yeah.
And 10 of that's eco.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
Hey, the pikemen have 4 kills.
Are they all knights?
Yeah, probably,
They're all
yeah.
knights. Yeah. Now they're gonna get free pokes there. They should not get, but
Yeah.
thanks to ye.
Why are we chopping wood in front of the enemy's base? I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know either. I feel like the forward was meant to get a siege workshop up, but we have 2 lumberjacks now. We're 14 to 31 eco, Katie. This is bad.
I mean, we have 15 villagers for the fool. That's not good.
And we're not producing at all.
But we're producing a Frank.
We're producing a militia.
Yes, we have Frank. Hello, Frank.
But we don't have a... Frank is now the Vil. Frank the Vil. The bully boy. The bully boy. Oh, man. I think the heart is there. Like, I like the play. We're just not doing it in the proper orders.
Yeah.
That's the real problem.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what we are trying to do, but we don't have the how. We're really missing the build order, like, completely. We don't exactly know how it works, right? But the good news is that is easy to fix.
These knights are so weak. I just want to see 1 monk added for those knights instead of throwing them away for 2 vills.
So all the pikes are dead now.
Yeah.
There's 2 pikes at home. But yeah, all the 4 pikes are dead. I mean, those knights are almost dead as well, but more are coming.
Yeah. If we just add
monk, yeah, 1 monk would be. Oh, now this is a better TC. The second TC should have been that one. This was a mess.
Yeah.
Says the fool. Yeah.
I cannot disagree with that statement. This is very much a mess. Yeah.
I mean, hey, technically, you're still in the game because Lime is not producing villagers.
Yeah. He might have double the vills, but he's not producing and he's not using his army advantage.
I mean, it has only 34. Yes, we are at 19, but if you give this game now to someone, I don't know, 300 elo higher, I think they turn it around.
Yeah.
Also because Lime is giving time. Why are we not attacking?
That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not using the army advantage we have. Like, we've killed 13 or 19 vills. We have huge eco advantage. I hate the second TC from full.
Yeah,
So
especially
much.
taking everything off of food. No, you need the food now to keep the vil production.
Build a TC with 3 vills.
Yeah.
3 to 5 vills is all you ever need for a new TC. And it's also not on new res. You're not really getting anything out of it.
Yeah. It's not protecting a new area or something.
Yeah.
And
And
I
I
mean,
think the problem...
look, here we have 3 houses doing a wall. We have 1 tile gap here. Could have been 1 house and you have everything. Yeah, here.
Yeah, now we're into...
And we're in the base. We have nothing to defend.
Those pikemen just die. Just fight that line.
Yeah.
Please fight that.
And
Oh,
they
they're
die
not-
because we have 0 armor upgrades. If we had 2 armor upgrades, I mean, there's also a numbers problem here, but if we had the armor upgrade, then the knights cannot really fight the pikes head on.
Yeah.
But with those numbers, yeah.
The irony too is if we add siege, or we add skirms as Franks, this is fine, even though their skirms are complete trash. I can't believe I just suggested skirms as Franks. God, they're so bad, dude. They're so
but
bad.
I mean, look at the wood, right? You take 1 villager, you place a siege workshop like here, I don't know, here, 1 mangonel, and you destroy the TCs. You will get in. The knights destroy the villagers, and it's over.
Yeah. Our eco advantage is also climbing on the third TC.
Not as stable, not a forward stable.
Yeah, we should add a forward
Siege
one,
workshop.
Yeah.
A monastery.
added a
That's a good answer. Monastery. That's a good answer. It's late, but it's a good answer.
I think the problem is it's too late.
Yeah, it's definitely too late. We also don't have the gold.
Yeah, I agree. I think the big thing too, after the second stable forward goes up, I think we just need a workshop, a siege workshop. 1 mango, we can push this TC back entirely.
Yeah.
I mean, arguably we can kill his entire army with 1 mango shot.
Absolutely.
Like, we have such a huge advantage here.
Yeah. And yeah, we stopped.
I think what really killed us here is we lost our entire forward initial because we didn't send forward pikemen. That is the point where like you shot yourself, because not only then are you behind, your opponent's then sending all those knights forward because you weren't fully walled, you got crushed, you lost most of your eco that was on wood, so you couldn't support the siege you needed. And then we made the wrong siege instead of just not making siege and getting defensive pike when it's starting to boom.
Yeah. I mean, against Franks, you kind of know what you're gonna get, right? You're gonna get knights. You need pikes. You need upgrades for pikes. You need a lot of pikes, and 1 mangonel is enough, right? In other plays, you see mangonel and then you add scorpions, but that's more like if you're gonna face some infantry or you're gonna face some archers. The scorpions deal with that. Against knights, you need pikemen. You have pikemen in front, 1 mangonel, and the mangonel will push everything, and line can't attack you because you have the pikemen in front defending. That's what you need. But see the villager now, it's much closer, right?
We've made up the difference because our opponent is spending half their food on knights too.
Yeah. True. But it's not like we are lacking the food to build villagers. We have 1,200, 1,300 food.
Well, because we're not
in the
spending
bank.
res. Yeah, we're just sitting on res.
Yeah. So now we're just, I don't know, waiting.
Because we're thinking about imp, I think, is what the problem is.
We have imp. We don't have the buildings.
Yeah.
But we have imp in the bank. And we have the wood to build a university and a monastery, or a siege workshop would be better. Yeah. Siege workshop and yeah, I mean,
we're adding another TC with the 1 vil we sent forward.
I don't like that.
I don't like it because I'd rather just a castle.
Yeah,
just send a bunch of vills forward and put a forward castle on your opponent.
Absolutely.
Put the forward castle up, go up to imp with that, and then you have cavalier. Like, you have cavalier plus paladin in the bank, plus imp in the bank by the time you get there.
Yeah.
Like, you have everything you need in the bank to end this game 10 minutes ago. And you're giving your opponent time, I think is what
Yeah,
I'm getting at here.
the full here is rebooming. It is decent, but it's not gonna be enough, unfortunately.
I think the real problem here, though, is like you're the Franks into Celts, so everything for you becomes how much pressure can I put on? Because if he rebooms here, and you're not booming and getting to imp faster with Cavalier, like you only need you don't even need Paladin as Franks here to beat this matchup.
Yeah.
You just need Cavalier.
Yeah.
So the sooner you can get to 5 or 6 stable Cavalier spam, the sooner you win this game as Franks. So by giving him time and not booming as like you have 40 minutes idle time, but not booming as fast, if he were to just move out now with like 10 more pikes in 3 mangoes, it's over.
So now,
He can-
take this
he can
castle
kill your-
and you move it here, in front of the church.
Yeah, put it right on the monastery. If it's right on that monastery, we cut off the entire food eco of
Yep.
our opponent.
Yeah, and we range the TC and yeah.
We're also getting forging before we're getting armor. Or before we're getting second armor, sorry.
Yeah.
Armor is way more important for pikemen
Yep.
than it is attack.
Yeah.
Because they already have crazy bonuses against cav. You don't care about the extra 2 or 3 damage.
Yeah, they have 22 bonus attack against cavalry. +1 will not make a difference. What will make a
What you really
difference
need
is you have 55 health, and if you have more armor, you're gonna take less damage from each hit. So it's gonna maybe poke the knight one more time, and that's 22 more damage, rather than just +1.
I also cannot stress, we have 5k res in the bank, and we have not made a Vil in 20 minutes as Lime.
Yeah.
Just make Vils. Make Vils until you're at 140. Like, you were at the point where you could build 6 more stables and spam out while you're on the way up to him. Oh, there was a gap there. Oh, that's bad. You take that fight. If that monk can hurt somebody, you're fine.
We got afraid of 1 monk and how many pikemen?
20 pikes.
20, yeah. I mean,
We're up
20
to him.
pikes is a certain number,
It's
and
no
there's some upgrades, so you know.
But you're fully upgraded. Like, you have everything you need here.
And
honestly,
we're
if
getting throwing
axemen-
axemen, yeah. Throwing axemen
I'm
will
alright.
shred the pikemen.
Yeah.
That's good that we're trying another angle. And we see the overchop, and we get the
Oh,
villager
shit.
kills, and yeah.
And we're not committed? Oh, we need to commit. These knights can jump under 1 TC and kill the TC.
Absolutely. Well, not with the pikemen coming, but
Well, yeah.
but yeah, you're getting a lot of villager kills here, and that's probably gonna be GG.
Yeah. We just fight these pikemen. We should win this. Oh no, we're fighting Vils, not the pikemen. But we're doing even more massive eco damage to our opponent who's already taken so much.
Yeah.
So I don't
Because
necessarily hate it. Just don't lose the mass. before you
Aside
get
the
in.
killing aside, like we have idled the whole eco.
Yeah. We put his entire eco in
Yeah.
TCs.
And now the pikemen are out of position, the throwing axemen are coming. That's perfect, but you need to be a bit bolder, I would say.
Yeah.
More committed to the attack.
I still can't get over the fact that we haven't made a Vil in so long. Like,
Yeah,
it bothers
that's
me
true.
so much.
That's true.
Like, I would like Lime's position even more if we had an actual eco behind this. Because here's the thing, if these pikemen clear up these knights, sure, we're gonna have Cavalier, and they'll be Frankish ones. But all he needs is one really good fight to make you spend all this res, and then you're not gonna have enough to support it.
I mean, we have the throwing axemen under the TC fire, and that's not ideal.
Yeah.
They have 0 pierce armor.
We're getting Cavalier and armor. Yeah, look at that. We took that fight like it was nothing. There's the GG.
Yeah. Well played. Yeah, I think we went through in such detail through all the things.
This game is just very rough. Like, game 1 is, I think, my favorite out of this set.
Yeah.
I think game 1 is very good. Like, it shows where your strengths are. Game 2 is a little weaker in that sense. Like, you still show your strengths, but both of you kind of falter. This game is just... This feels rough.
Mm-hmm.
All around.
The thing is, with these all-in strategies, either you have like people like Dolphin, like Javeloping Chris, and others have a whole book of them, right? They know a whole range of different all-in strategies, and they surprise the opponent at every match with something different. Or what you should do is like, okay, you throw your opponent off with your strategy on the first game, and then you go into second game and you take that momentum to play a standard game, because your opponent is kind of probably gonna wonder, oh, am I going to see a cheese strategy again? I lost the first game, oh my god, I might lose the set, and so on, right? You're ahead in the mental game, and just playing standard, playing the thing that you know how to play is easier, especially at this elo, because you don't have that range of so many different strategies that you can apply. So don't try to replicate that every game, because then you get the wrong civs and you don't know what to do with the fast castle, whatever, all-in strategy, and you lose, right? So that would be my advice, especially for a lower elo. It's okay to have the strange, weird strategy, but then also ensure that you do play the standard, you do improve on that, because that's what's gonna make you a more solid player.
And I don't think like you have bad strats. Like, I think game 1 says all it needs to say for how I feel about it. Like, because as much as I was like, I hate that it's monastery, like Siege Workshop, and we're going Scorpions. 1, Scorpions are good for Romans, and 2, as much as I'd rather it be pikemen, like, it's not a bad idea to do monks too, right? Into Khmer.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like shows that you have a really good all-in where you can do siege pushes like that.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is every game that we watched, you tried to do a full all-in like that, to the point that you shot yourself in the foot and made your ego worse. You got yourself there faster, but then you had no ego balance, and you had rough dark gauges, rough feudals, get the castle, and then you hit castle and your eco's fine. Like, you start to really balance, like, to the point in this game where your opponent rated you down to 14 vills. They had 53 vills, went to 54, and for 30 minutes or 20 minutes after that didn't make a single vill, and you almost got to the same vill count again.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, as much as I say, hey, Celts will lose to Franks in Imp, it's not gonna matter if you have 140 and you can just spam halbs out, and your opponent can't keep up with 1 stable knights because they have 54 vills.
I'll say this: I like this eco better than the one that Lime has.
Yeah, I agree. I like Fool's Eco here a lot more.
Yeah. You're lacking another TC on the Golden Stone for this map. That's a huge problem. But how you set up your eco in here, it's way better than what Lime did here at home. These farms outside are very inefficient. Did we get wheelbarrow? We did have a hand cart, so it's, I guess, okay. But yeah, I like your eco setup much better. So I think you did a better job. The problem is this was the wrong time. Like, if this were early Castle Age, you would be doing great. Problem is we're in Imp.
Yeah, we're in Imp getting Cavalier and Last Armor, and we still have the same 54 damn vills we've had. I hate it.
Yeah.
Like, it bothers me more because we have this huge mass of knights that we also were afraid to use.
Definitely.
That's the thing that's really getting me. Like, pressure plus Vil production here, and I'll say this right now. If you keep your Vil production up and you use the army that you massed on the advantages you have, you're 200 elo better. Instantly. Like, that's all it is, right? And as full, if we refine our all-ins, and we set it up and we, like, in this match, if we go forward spears to stop the scouts, we don't lose 4 Vils. We have a better ego. And if we're able to adapt that, again, we're 200 elo better.
Yeah. I mean,
it really comes down to like the smallest things for both of you, and you're instantly better.
Yeah. I mean, with all lanes, you have to understand for each civ what works and what doesn't. Like, for example, the Saracens, right? We saw, okay, fast castle, we idled the TC, and then the question was, and then what? What do? You can't go into unique unit because it's not really a unique unit that lends itself to a low eco setup, right? The Mamluk requires a big eco to sustain. It's not like the Ratha, it's not like the Arambai that you can be only on wood and gold and use the market to balance everything else and just keep producing them, right? It's different. And the same goes with Celts. Like, you can do an all-in, but it's a bit of a different one, right? Here, we talked about it. We would have liked to see more a Huang style of all-in push. I think that would have been hard to stop. If you have mangonels knocking on the door, protected by pikemen, it is difficult to answer to that.
Especially as you're Franks and you're early, like, because if you have scouts left over from Feudal, your pikes are going to shred them. They can't get there long enough to kill more than like one mango. Your mangonels are already going to eat TCs, and by the time they can start massing knights, you've probably killed the TC.
Yeah.
And that's
or
the
the
thing,
stables.
Yeah.
The
and
stables
you
were
have to win early
forward.
in Celts
So.
here.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to win early. And I know because I played this exact matchup on another map, but I played Celts against Franks, and in Imp I had no answer to to anything that the Franks did.
Because the reality with Franks and Imp is the second they get to Cavalier, it's Uber for Celts. Like, you can still take effective-ish trades into Cavalier, but at that point, like, it's Uber. Because your only answer at that point is to be on...
Well, you can be on Halberdier. The problem is that you then have either the throwing axeman or the hand cannoneer from the Franks as well.
Yeah.
And you don't have an answer to that.
Yeah. I mean, feasibly you have mangoes, but they'll die to Cavalier, and you could also be on Scorpions, again, Cavalier.
Yeah. So yeah.
But I think both of you play fine here. Like,
Absolutely.
I have my issues, like, but some of the issues are also things that, like, I see and I'm like, I've done that, I hate that, you know.
So. I mean, it's an accomplishment to have 1 hour of idle TC in a 47-minute game.
When you have idle TC that's longer than the game.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the issue I remember a lot from the Hidden Community Cup, like especially in the first games against Bishop, against Koi. They would go to castle and build immediately 3 town centers and then idle them. I, on the other hand, was like, okay, I have 1 TC, I build 2 stables and go knights. And that alone won me my first games, right? Because there's no point in adding 3 TCs if you're going to idle them. Here we have 4 TCs, but they are all idles. So what's the point of having them?
Yeah. That you know, that's the reality. That's why I'm like so mad that I say mad, but like I'm frustrated because I see, like, I've said it enough times, like 54 Vils at 47 minutes. Yeah. Like, if you stayed castle, right, and you were abusing the night mass, then I wouldn't care. You know, like, but there was a point where your opponent's at 19 Vils or 14 Vils.
Yeah.
There's no reason he should have even climbed back up to 32.
Absolutely.
To get knocked back, or to climb up to 50, get knocked back down to 31.
Absolutely.
On 2-2C.
There's a points in time where you have to recognize maybe it is worth to take an engagement that is not cost effective for me, but that would put my opponent to 0 army, right? Yeah. If you lose, I don't know, 5 knights to kill 10 pikemen, and you have still 5 knights left or something like that, it's still good for you if your opponent has nothing left after that. Because then they are undefended and you've won the game, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it, like, I agree, like, having hotkeys, like, for example, I put all my TCs on control group 6. So all I have to do is hit my 6 on my thing and I tab back. And I think default hotkey for it is H, but still. It's also just being aware of your Q on the top left of your screen. I think that's a big part of it too.
Yeah.
Like anytime you're doing anything, like if you're controlling army, even if at the moment, like, your ego isn't perfect, like, your ego doesn't have to be perfect at every moment. But let's say you're microing knights and you're trying to avoid pikes and pick off vills. If you just for a moment glance up, see, hey, I have no vills in Q, and you have a control group for it, you can press the control group and just hit Q a few times, and you queue up a bunch of vills, and then you can just go back to microing army, or do it all at the same time even. So, again, like, that's a bit harder said than done, but...
Yeah.
You know.
But it helps to practice that in single player, practice keeping the idle TC down, getting a bit into a rhythm, always queuing villagers and so on. There's also the learn to play advanced techniques, where you have the Dark Age thing, you have the fast castle build, you have the booming challenge. All of these kind of help, at least as a starting point. And yeah, maybe it's good to know how to do a fast castle, because it's a good tool to have in the arsenal, because sometimes it is the right thing to do.
Yeah, and Lime had mentioned that he didn't want to lose the knights and give more, and then ended up doing neither. And that's kind of like the crux of the statement, is that you did neither. You didn't do anything with it, kind of deal. So if you're putting pressure on and you're forcing him to react, cool, he's moving his army around and it's not at your base. And he has to focus on your knights instead of like his ego and what he wants to do.
Yeah.
And then if you split them up, he still has to go in one area. So even if you're just putting pressure and forcing him to quick wall behind or something, just doing something with your army forces your opponent to do something in return.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I think we said everything there is to say about these games.
And I think they're good games.
Yeah, they're good games.
I still think game 1 lives rent-free in my head. I do like that game.
Yeah, absolutely. And so yeah, that was it. I thank you, ZeldaSquad, for joining.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thank everyone who stayed around to look at the games, and who has the patience to endure our amateur streaming and
our criticism.
and our criticism. And I don't have a schedule, so whenever I have time and I feel like it, I stream, and if not, well, that's that. But nevertheless, I appreciate it. I wanted to also contribute a little bit. I know that people like to be cast. I like to have their games analyzed and so on. And so I thought, okay, we can do a couple of sets and help out, because there's so many sets and we are never gonna be able to cast all of them. That's so sad, but it's just the sad reality. There's so many. And 2 more in the bank, right?
Yeah, every game counts, to be honest.
And so thank you to ZeldaSquad. You should check out his Twitch, right?
Yeah, it's spelled wrong, but yeah, it exists.
Yeah, it is. Wait, I have it here. I will put it somewhere. Help.
It's fine.
No, it's not. We need to. Because you're not in the chat, that's the problem.
I hear. I can type in the chat.
You can type in the chat, okay.
There you go.
I cannot type. There you are. Well, follow Elsium on Twitch. And yeah, we'll see us next time. And thank you very much for being here. Thank you, ZeldaSquad.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, everybody.
See you.
Wood, please. Good job. You now have enough wood. Good job. You now have enough wood. Good job. You now have enough wood. Good job. Good job. We have captured all of Nisus's lumber. We have captured all lumber. We have captured all of Nisus's lumber. Wood, please.
Okay, we want to just preach to the people. Just preach it to the people. You protect. Okay.
Wait a second. Did you hear that? Guys, someone's coming to town. I hear noises. I just hear thud, 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 thud. I hear noises. I just hear thud, 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 thud. Down the watch time. Oh god. I just hear thud, 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 thud. I hear noises. I just hear thud, 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 thud. Something's going on over here. Thud, thud. And I don't like it. Thud, thud. Ray was up to something. Thud, thud. Sheesh. Alright, here we go. Thud, thud. I hear noises. Oh god. I just hear thud. Thud, 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 thud. I hear noises. I just hear thud, 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 thud. Maybe Red's dying right now? Maybe that's what we heard? I'm still very concerned that I will have a massive target on my back. Target on my back. I don't think I cut that far. Oh boy. Hey, 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 hey. Give me your trebs. Give me your trebs. Give me your trebs. I will take all your trebuchets. All your trebuchets. Thanks for cutting this path for me. Give me your traps. Is he tootin'? I swear if I die here. Hello? What's happening?
Are they all mine now? I still